And we are back for another episode of What You Getting Into, the podcast where we talk about what we got into over the last week. And then we go into just some subjects and stuff like that. So this weekend, I saw two fights and they were both sad. How about you? Did you see any fights?
I watched UFC and that was it. I didn't see any fights in person.
Yeah, I saw, yeah, UFC fights. Jorge Masvidal got knocked the entire heck out. It was embarrassing. Thug Rose, she went hard.
Chris Weidman broke a leg. Karma comes full circle.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy that like he broke his leg in the same fashion Anderson Silva broke it.
What's crazy is that fight was 17 seconds officially, and Uriah Hall didn't throw a single strike. He literally just blocked a kick and won.
Isn't that what happened when Anderson Silva the second fight? Like that's how he broke it. Like it was pretty quick too.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more action. This one, it was just kind of, they're moving around, they're feeling each other out. Chris Weidman tries to engage. Oh, leg snapped in half. It was pretty disgusting. I wouldn't recommend anyone who's, queasy to go look it up, but it was pretty gnarly.
The worst injury of all time is still Kevin Ware Louisville.
Yeah, that one was pretty gross too. Paul George is even up there because if you remember when he was with that Team USA in their little scrimmage, his leg just kind of went into the floor and like the basketball stanchion meet, and you could just see his leg shift from this diagonal position, just like that.
Yeah, them leg injuries, man. But for real though, so the first fight that I saw, like in these streets, the first fight that I saw was like, the typical fight where two people were fighting and one guy is like mad drunk. And then like this drunk guy got beat up and then he got up, tried to fight again. He got beat into a car. But like during the second fight, there was like a girl trying to break it up. So like there was like this white knight motorcycle gang that was watching behind this fence. And I swear to you, bro, like they saw the dude, like, he was like swinging stuff and like he didn't even hit the girl, but like he touched her. And like this dude came over the fence, like this man landed like Captain America. Like this man made like a slap on the concrete when he landed. I'm like, dog, like you did that purposely. And then like they were wearing like their little motorcycle jackets and they're like the dorkiest looking motorcycle gang out there. And like he was like, come with me, bro. Like the dude was already beat up. And these dudes ran across the street, and like one of the other motorcycle guys was like, take your cut off, take your cut off. Like, why are you guys trying to hide your motorcycle gangness? Like that's kind of weird. Like it's like, that's like the adult equivalent of going to go fight in the bathroom. But anyway, like they went over there and like he pushed a drunk guy who got beat up twice from behind, and like the dude fell down, and then like he wasn't even punching him, like he was swinging, but it's like, bro, like we can all see that you're not connecting, and the other guy just stood there. It was so weird. It was like, bro, like you should have just stayed over there. You really embarrassed yourself running across the street and then running up behind him like with two people. Sorry. The second fight wasn't any better.
Did you catch the name of this motorcycle gang? I'm curious of who they are.
No, I didn't care. It's like they're itching for trouble to the point where it's like, dog, that guy just got beat up twice. Like, what did you gain by going over there and pushed him down a third time? And then like everybody saw that you weren't actually hitting him. And like, what if that guy got up and whooped you? Like, that would have been hilarious. But like, we just kept walking. It was like there's no one even on that street. It was just a sad thing. And then the
That's
second fight,
crazy.
it led me to. Have you seen the Lizzo Captain America situation?
The lizard. No, explain this one.
All right, so for some reason she DM'd him while drunk, and then like she unsent the message, but like she like posted on TikTok or something, and it like made all her like Lizzo fans and like Entertainment Tonight and like everything picked it up. So Captain America had to respond. I had that situation happen to me, bro.
Wait, so was it Chris Evans who she DM'd?
Yeah,
And
and now
what did he say about it?
he was just basically like, I've done worse on this app. Like he's being friendly, but like Lizzo fans are just some sort of crazy. Like if you go to like her Instagram, she posted like my birthday's in 5 days and I got a lot of gifts, and they're like, is it from Harry Styles or Chris Evans? Like, no, it's from none of them. Stop it. Like that's what like what? No, it's from none of them. Like she is DMing Captain America while drunk. Like I'm sure he got like 50 drunk DMs that hour alone, and like what do you guys not for it? But yeah, so I was in this casino, right? And the second fight was funny too because like there was a second floor and a first floor, right? And a drink fell down from the second floor on this dude. And for some reason, high school was rough for him or something like that. Cause like he looks over at the table next to him and starts yelling at the dude next to him. Like, you think a dude just turned around and just decided to bean a drink at you for no reason? And then like this dude, like he got up and like tried to fight him, like, all right, little IT professional. Like, and then the guy just like clowned him so hard. Like he like took out his wallet and gave the guy money. And for some reason the guy took it and then like just sat down. And then the guy just kept yelling at him. And then like the guy made it rain on him. And then he actually threw a drink at him. And it was like, damn, like that's embarrassing. Like you picked a fight with a random dude next to you and he threw money on you and your whole group and then threw his drink at you for real. Like that's an L.
Wait, so what happened to the guy up top who dropped the drink?
We don't know like what happened to them. Like we couldn't even see them. Like we just saw a drink fall and then this dude just started spazzing on the table next to him. And then like so how I got lizzled, right? Like there's these girls next to us, and after a fight, what happens after a fight. Everybody's hype, everybody's talking about it, everybody's just chilling. So like they started talking to us and like had my friend with me, and like one of them started talking to him, and then the other one started talking to me, and like we were both just kind of like trying to go home, like just not about it. And like this girl was very aggressive, like grabbing me a lot, like no less than like 10 times. She was like, what do your tattoos mean? I'm like, I have like 20 tattoos, and I explained my tattoos. Like she would not stop. Like, and I'm just like, you're being aggressive. Like, just like trying to be nice about it, but like I'm like, dude, like I'm not interested. Like, leave me alone. But like she's just like hitting me and stuff like, haha, you're just like, leave me alone, ma'am. But at
That's
one point,
abusive.
yeah, it was weird because like it's like, I'm not interested. Like she was like at one point, because like this lasted like an hour. She was like, call me attractive. I'm like, no, like if someone tells you to call them attractive, like you're already down bad. And then like if they say no, it's like, come on, man. Like, but anyway, like she took my phone at one point and called herself. And then we ended up leaving. We got out safely. We laughed about it in the car because like my friend, he had the same situation, not the same situation with the girl, but like at one point she told him to stand up, and then like she just kissed him and he was like, nah, dude, like no. Like we just ended up like leaving. But the next day, the craziest thing, like someone texted me from like because she was from like, I don't know, some northeastern state. And someone texted me the next day, is like, hey, it's Brad. We took shots last night. Did you go home with that girl? I'm like, Brad, like, cause I didn't take shots, number one. And like I don't even get the logic behind that. Like, oh yeah, I took shots. I just don't remember that guy's name. But you totally have the same number as that girl from last night, or same area code as the girl from last night. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's logical. So I'm like, Brad. He was like, yeah, is this whoever? I'm like, no. I thought it was like a girl text me. I'm like, no guy even texts like this. This is weird. And then like I took the number to Snapchat and it gave me a username. I took that username to Instagram. I'm like, all right, your name is actually this name and you go to this school. Like, what's up? Like, and then like that pretty much ended it. But like, yeah, that was weird. Like, I don't know what she did. Like, did she just text my number to him directly? Did she post a TikTok? Like, what did she do to six simps on me like that? And I feel sorry for Chris Evans because I only got one message off that BS, but like you know that man's inbox is blowing up just like from airing the message and stuff like that. Like she didn't have to do that, bro. Like that's intense, man.
Wow. I
It
mean,
was definitely scary.
this girl who took your phone, was she Was she a 1 through 1, 4, 6, 7?
I was not interested.
So a 4.
400.
Well, I guess the best way to put it, is not even use a number scale. Is she a 1 or a 0? That's the best way to put it.
Like even while drunk, I was like, nah, fam. Like, no.
So she was a 0. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
dang, that's
it was not gas. It was not cool at all. Like I was just like, it's like, man, like I kept trying to like turn my back and everything. It's like my friend was over there, like he was just like arguing with the girl over there, just like, why are you doing this? Like, I'm not interested, like clearly. And then like she's trying to argue with him, like, no, blah blah blah. Like, and that was weird over there. So I'm trying to watch that. 'Cause that's more interesting than just getting grabbed by this girl over here, like just grab me. And it's like, dude, like this is I hate the aggression because like at one point I really stopped her and like you're being aggressive. She's like, guys like that, like, no, they don't. Like we definitely don't like aggressive, especially like when I told you, like, you know, I don't want to tell you about my tattoos. And like you ask again, like, geez, like, and then it was like 10 times.
Imagine if the roles were reversed in the situation and it's some young girl constantly getting grabbed by some guy she doesn't
Yeah, I
like.
mean, I'm sure that does happen, but it's like it would get
It
stopped real
happens.
fast. Yeah, like it, like, and definitely like you wouldn't like send some virtue army after him or something like that. That was the weird thing, was like, and then like I texted her like, you do not give out my number. That's 100% out of pocket. Just no response. Like, okay, like weird, like weird.
Where were you at when this happened?
Fremont Street, man. Like I really gotta stop messing with Fremont Street. Like that one was that's a new level of like, because it's happened to me before, like when they like come at you extra hard and then you like try to walk away and like they come find you later and like be aggressive, but that's really weird to get you harassed.
Dude, that's yeah,
It was like it's borderline illogical. It's like like
that's abuse right there. You can't just like go up and like start grabbing someone and then do that sort of thing. Like that girl was literally a red flag.
yeah,
Like,
man. And she was talking about like, I've been screwed over by guys in the past before. I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in you right
whoa,
now.
this
You've
the
been screwed
conversation
over,
had to have gone somewhere for her to bring that up.
bro. Like it was going nowhere. Like she was trying to get me to tell, like she wanted me to lie to her, and she wanted me to like just like, it was like 2 a.m. I'm I'm not really drunk, but it's like I've been drinking, and it's like I'm still not interested. And I'm not even like showing you that, like I'm not touching this girl back. I'm turning my back a lot. Like I'm doing everything to show that like I'm very disinterested right now. Like I'm like, some at some points, like I really had to like, because I'm usually nice and playful and stuff, but at some points I had to like really like let the vocabulary out and be like, hey, like if someone tells you not interested in talking about a subject, let it go. And then she's like, oh, I apologize. But like she was also trying to gas herself too. Like that's the funny thing to me. Like when someone tries to gas themselves, she said she was a scientist. So I'm like, what are your degrees? And she's like, I only have a bachelor's. Like, you're not a damn scientist with a bachelor's degree. Like, what are you talking about?
Man, you so I still don't understand this. Like the conversation had to have gone somewhere for her to tell you that she's a scientist, guy just screwed her over. You didn't buy her a drink or anything like
No,
that?
I
You
made her
didn't.
buy me a drink. And that's when like she was like trying to get me to like, she was like, tell me I'm attractive and I'll buy a drink. Like, no.
But she bought you a drink though. So did
Yes.
you tell her she was
Fuck no.
attractive? What did you say to her? You had to have said something. What'd she get you? A buttery nipple?
I said, like, if my friend wants to hang out with her friend, like, say they were talking about going to brunch the next day, I was like, I'll be there if they go to brunch or whatever. No, I was like, because I just got my new Weber grill and stuff. So I'm excited about that. I've been grilling corn, like, every day. So I was like, hey, we can have brunch in my house. Like, 'cause I just got the setup stuff going. And then, like, the girl over there was like, can we bring chicken instead of beef and do that? I'm like, all right, never mind. Let's go to like already making a laundry list of demands for people who aren't interested. That was the thing, like making a laundry list of demands from someone who's not even interested. Like that was, a recipe for disaster already. And then like I'm telling you that like you're aggressive, man. Oh, guys like that. Oh, really? That's where she started saying, like, I was like, no, you don't. She's like, yeah, because guys screwed me over. I'm like, well, I mean, get some dating lessons or something. Like, man, that's not my issue.
Yeah, bro, that doesn't sound like that girl should be going out like ever if she's
Yeah.
that abrasive when she meets new people. I mean, she needs to stay home for her
Yeah.
own good.
Yeah, like that would have been so bad. Like I always like have like weird nights out and then like I'm like living in the moment. So I don't really think about it till the next day. But then like when I woke up, and it wasn't even like 8 a.m. yet. And like they're on that BS, like, yo, like y'all woke up early to harass me. Like that's oh my oh my.
So you didn't find out who Brad was?
No, I found out by like taking his name to Snapchat, and then like his Snapchat username was same as his Instagram username. So like, yeah, I called him. And I was like, because like at first I was just like, hello, whatever this girl's name is, friend. This is kind of weird. And then like they didn't respond for a while. And then I was just like, later on in the day, like that's when I did it. And I was like, your name is this, and you go to this school. How's it going? Just a little bit of a scared, like, yeah, we could find you. If you're gonna be weird, I'm gonna do it back.
Man, poor Brad. He probably thought he got some chick's number. I don't even know how.
No, like they have to know each other. It's like they have the same. They're from the same area of the country. It's like she was visiting Vegas or whatever. So like, yeah, it's like someone in their group chat or something. I don't know. I don't know how she aired me. That's what I want to know. Like, how many people did you try to get to come after me? Like the one that did it was weird, but like, how many people did you broadcast that to that you wanted that to happen?
That's really weird. I mean, how did she get a hold of your phone?
It was just on the counter there, like, and plus, like, we were
And
planning on
she
going
on
to brunch the next day, so like, I wasn't really thinking about it like that bad, like, it
do you not
was
have a
weird that like,
password on your phone? Like, how did she
no, I
just
don't
get
have a
in?
password, but like,
Well,
I
that's
told
a
her to
first
enter in
mistake.
her contact info, and she did the thirstiest thing by calling herself. Like, that's thirsty too,
You wouldn't even mess with this girl, and you like got her contact info.
dude. Like, I mean, I learned my lesson, and like, I
You had
really
on beer goggles, dude. I think that's what
no,
this came coming down
no, I
to.
really wasn't. No, that's the thing. Like, it's like I'm being polite, and then like I'm not interested. And we didn't end up hanging out with them because we were like, dude, let's just go home. And like, as we were like closing out and checking out, like, she was just sitting there, like, looking over every couple seconds. Wasn't saying anything, just looking over every couple seconds. I'm just like, yeah, she's heated. And then like that was your response was to sick a person on me. And like, what? Like, I see why she's been like, I feel sorry for any guy that lives in the same town as her. Like, I would not go to, like, if I met her in a bar in that town, I ain't going there anymore. Like,
What
nah,
area code was it? I'm curious.
Rhode Island.
Rhode. Oh well, it's not even in her town. It's probably she knows everyone in the state. Like Rhode Island's this big compared to like Ohio, which is yay big. So she probably knows everyone in Rhode Island.
No, she said she lived in another state though. But yeah, like, I feel sorry for people in that state. It was just weird. Like they definitely like just jumped on us, and like they did the reverse, like, because men use wingmen and stuff. They did the same thing, just like one was like, I can't hear you, and ran to my friend. And then like I'm just like, man, leave me alone, man. Like I'm just sitting here. Like, that bar is lit though. Every time I go to that bar, I'm always talking to someone in there. Sometimes it just be like that though. It didn't have to be like that, but it was like that, and I wish it wasn't.
Well, at least you saw fights and you
Yeah,
know.
at least we saw fights. I got a free shock top out of it being harassed.
Yeah, she did buy you a drink, so it was night sounded like it was somewhat of a success for you.
Yeah, I could have gotten a second one, but like I was like, nah, I really just want to leave right now. I'm uncomfortable.
Dang.
And it
Well,
wouldn't like honestly, like I would have forgotten about it. Like I would have been cool, except like the text in the morning was just like so like I've never had that happen to me before in 7 years of going out. Like that you send my number to something like what'd you do? Write it on a bathroom wall or something? Like what the heck?
apparently you took shots with this Brad, or she took shots with this Brad guy. So
No, they said I took no, this Brad guy said, hey, we met at the bar we were at last night. We took shots. Did you take that girl home? I'm like, and like he used it like he said it in the weirdest way, like, dude, what? Like, I'm just like, question mark, Brad. And he's like, yeah, this is whoever, right? Ha ha ha. I'm like, why do you think like I would just like, oh yeah, Brad, what? Like, just odd, man. Like there was no game plan going into it. And that's why I'm saying like I got Lizzled because like if you really go to her like profile now, it's just a lot of people just like delusional stuff about Chris Evans. It's like, dude, like leave that man alone. Like he had to respond to it because she aired the messages on TikTok. No, she aired the first message on TikTok. And then like he had to respond to it. And now she's making follow-up TikToks because like they're like, let us know how it's going. Like this man does not care. Like, oh man.
Lizzo's pretty thirsty herself. Do you remember what she when she went to the Timberwolves Lakers game, that dress that she was wearing and like her whole butt was showing?
Yeah, man. Like 30 plus years old, just like
And she
looking.
said number 32 is her baby. She tried to holler at Carl Anthony Towns, and he was like, I want no piece of that.
Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns, Chris Evans, Harry Styles. Like, she's a whole millionaire, like shooting it like thinking that like makes it better. It's like, no, you're still very immature and like
She is 32.
yeah, it's
Wow.
hard
This
to be
is
around. Like I'm sure she's hard to be around. Like that
oh, she's
girl at the bar was
obnoxious.
very hard. Yeah, she was hard to be around. Like she was like at first, like she was kind of, not as touchy, but then like once she got touchy, she was like, you like this, you like this, you like this. Like, no, I don't. Like I would reciprocate or something if I liked it. Like I'm sitting here just like, stop it. Like stop touching me.
Yeah, that kind of behavior is pretty out of pocket. And, the thing about Lizzo, for some reason, she got famous off that song "Truth Hurts," and all that song was about some guy smashing and then wanted no part of her, and she made a whole song about it. Like you listen to the lyrics, like, why are
Yeah.
men great until they have to be great? Well,
Yeah. It's like you a
that guy
man of
never
the
wanted a
Minnesota
piece of you.
Vikings. Like which Minnesota Viking? Which one?
Well, there are some athletes that are into bigger women. I remember reading somewhere that Glenn Big Baby Davis, that guy
Well,
was 6'9", 270. So
Young
some of those
Gravy
athletes
said
are
he
into the
wanted to
bigger
date
women.
Lizzo.
Well, Young Gravy's just doing it for the fame. I mean, that guy's
Maybe.
like 6'7".
Yeah, maybe he does, but like, hey, like,
It's all those tall guys. They want themselves a bigger woman.
hey, more
But
power to them, if they like it. But like Chris Evans is obviously just like being polite, and it's like, dude, like
I know he
you
has to
can't you
beat
can't be
off.
yeah, you can't be airing the messages like that. Like that's just to get like your weird oh man, like let
Shouldn't
some
say Chris Evans has to beat off. He gets probably DMs from females, more attractive than we even know
yeah,
on a
like
daily
I
basis.
was on Twitter and like in the comments, like someone was like, this is just proof he only responds to famous people. Like that man does not owe you anything. Why are you trying to get a response from Chris Evans? Like that's just harmful to your own self. Like, what do I look like trying to get a response to someone who's like not anywhere in my proximity, not anywhere in my social circle, not anywhere in like my stratosphere? Like this oddball stuff, like oddball. That's the type of stuff to like get your house showing up at, like just delusion.
Yeah, it's like the people who try to sneak into the Kardashians' house. That one guy tried doing it, ended up at DeMar DeRozan's house. Like people are nuts when it comes to
Yeah.
celebrities.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't even make sense, man. Like leave people alone. That's like John Lennon got killed. by some crazy president got shot, Ronald Reagan, I think. Like, yeah, just it's hard to be around nutty people. I really learned my lessons. Like, I try to be nice and polite, and like, I thought my friend was talking to her friend, so I'm like, cool, I'll just sit around here. But like, man, like, took it to the next level. Like, really took it to the next level.
Are you going to change your number because of it? Have they texted you since?
No, because I called him out by his real name, and that's like scared the heck out of him.
Yeah, take that, Brad Williams.
Yeah,
We'll find you.
it's like,
We're
you got,
resourceful.
I just, no. Hopefully, once she got off the plane to her hometown, she has some other dudes to harass, and like, yeah, it's like, all right, I just got one day harassment. I feel for anybody who's in whatever town she lives in,
She's
telling them
back
that.
harassing guys in Rhode Island now.
Yeah, like she said she's a scientist, but like then she explained her job, and I'm like, that's quality control, and I don't think you probably even need a science degree to do that. But yeah, you got your degree, and you're a scientist, sure. You're in STEM doing I know the machines do it for you. Like, stop it.
People are just like to fluff up their job title.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's
Like I'm
that's the
I'm
funniest
a
thing.
professional concierge, but I'd say as I drive for Uber. People say stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be the wildest stuff. Like when you can like ascertain what their job actually is, and then like they're just like looking stupid. It's like, bro, you could just like no one cares about your job until you try to hype it up, and then like that's when like it's like when you call yourself like something like a dude calls himself a real man, and then you're like, you're not a real man. They get so mad. Like, well, you're the one who tried to label yourself, and now look at you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like no one has an interesting job title unless they're like a professional athlete, an artist, an actor, actress. Who are you gonna impress? I mean, no one
Yeah,
really
I'm not
cares.
even impressed by like artists or models or actresses, because like I mean the top like 0.1% makes money, and the rest of them are just like doing freelance, probably paying to be like, I know people call themselves models, and it's like, dog, you just pay somebody to take pictures of you, like, and you pay them, like they're not doing it for free. So like, what are you a model for? Like, where are these photos going? Like, besides you putting up on your wall, it's just some real narcissism. Like, it's like, is it worth it?
Yeah,
Because like,
absolutely. I mean, people will start working out, see a little bit of progress, and then change their Instagram to whatever underscore fit or
yeah.
fitness, and now they're fitness coaches, and they give all this terrible cookie cutter advice like, how I got here with all these muscles, no days off, push yourself every moment of every minute.
Those
It's
days
like,
are gone,
shut
man.
up.
Like now it's just like all kinds of just weird acceptance stuff. And it's just like I saw one today, and it was like so what the thing is, like, merch sells. So like she was wearing a shirt that was like all bodies are healthy bodies, and she was wearing an oxygen tube, and it's like you
That's
can't
not
be even
healthy.
40 years old yet. No, the craziest thing was this is the nuttiest TikTok I've seen. I wish I sent it to you before we started this, but this girl was like, my grandpa was watching a sexist movie, and I told him to turn it off in the house, and he refused and said, don't let what other people doing bother you. So like she was like, so I backed this car out the driveway and left it there. And then like she said, like, and I'm gonna play like music really loud, like at all times of day. It's like, yo, you live at your grandparents' house or with your parents or whatever. And like they're made to suffer you because like you want to be like try to control what's going on in their house that you're not paying for. The next decade is going to be so bad for a lot of people, man. Like people who like can't be out on their own, like they're bad, man. Like I looked through her TikTok after that, and it was like she was like responding to her own comment or something. Like someone called her a hypocrite, and she responded to her own comment. Like I was like, you're getting no comments from anybody saying this is justifiable behavior. And like she was a grown woman, like over 30, you know, arguing with their grandpa about what movies he can watch in probably his house,
Yeah, the narcissism in some people, I don't even won't even categorize it to women, is just astonishing, honestly.
Yeah. Like
So
they just run to echo chambers and stuff to justify their bad behavior, but it's like leave the room. Plus, like it's probably not even a sexist movie or something. And if you think it is, like everybody has their own opinion of whatever. And it's like any media that you don't like, you just want it turned off and you want it destroyed. Like that's modern day book burning. Like that's like history repeats itself like very quickly.
exactly, and just I don't think I hate the whole cancel culture sort of thing. And I know we've talked about this many times before, but it's kind of dumb. I mean, because all you're doing is just harassing someone or something
Yeah.
for something
Yeah.
they've once said. And
Yeah, especially when it's like a 10-year-old thing and it's like, oh, we want an apology. And like, if you apologize, you're done. If you don't apologize, you're done. Like, and it's just boredom. Like, some people get on Twitter and looking for a new thing to cancel every day. Every day, they're looking for something to cancel. They're, trying to message somebody, harass them, look for their address. Like, just bored, man. Like you have nothing better to do. And it's like, those be the same people talking about like we don't have opportunities for work and stuff. Like if you spent less hours on Twitter and got a part-time job, like you'd make some more money.
yeah, absolutely. I don't understand people.
Yeah.
I don't vibe with them. I'm not around those people a lot, so I can't
Yeah, like
relate.
it's just like I get on Twitter and I see it and it's like, dude, like this app is horrible. So it's TikTok I want to get on to like kind of view stuff that people send me, but that one's pretty bad too. It's just a attention Olympics for real.
I
I've
only
been
get on
trying.
TikTok only for the humor. I don't care about really anything else.
You probably get on there for like videos of corn being grilled. Man, I've been
I
loving
see
going.
that sort of thing, but I noticed like this thing on TikTok when they season the food, they season the food. I mean, this good dude took a whole rack of ribs. Maybe it's because I grew up in a white household where spices, weren't a very common thing, but people are just dousing the entire thing in seasoning and just rubbing it everywhere. And then they're flipping it over and doing the same thing again.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
gotta do
like,
that. That gets you the grill marks. I've been studying how to grill burgers better and stuff. So you season it and then that caramelizes it and that gets you them good grill marks. Them good.
well, I'm saying, man, they put a lot of seasoning. I mean, you take a whole, thing of like chili powder, for example, they're dumping the whole entire can of chili powder is on there and they're rubbing it all in. And I
Yo,
mean, a lot of it looks really good, but I think they're just overdoing it.
I posted a room in my house for a roommate again. It's been real, yo. Like it's man. So one lady, she keeps trying to argue with me, like in the comments, and it's like, and she's like, I sent you a message, you didn't respond. Like, it's because you've been trying to argue with me in the comments. Why would I respond to you? Like, what's wrong with you? And this other one, again, like the I sent you a message and like I'm trying to rent that out. Like her message was along the lines of, I don't know how long I want to live there. That's a first red flag. She's like, I'm planning on moving to another city soon. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna up and leave like just in a hurry, probably, no notice. And then like she's like, I have two cats, like, and she was like, they're non-destructive and they'll stay in the room with me. I'm like, all right, that's just a blatant lie. Like, no cat is gonna sit in a room all day, especially two cats. Like, kind of, and it's like the whole house will smell horrible too. Like, two cats, like it's not worth it. Like, not worth it for someone to bring like multiple pets. And that's a lot of people. Like, they're like, I want a room for me and my girlfriend for I can only afford $500 and we have a dog. So you want two people and a dog to live in one room? Like, what?
That's trifling.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, dude, no. Like, if you tell me you're that desperate, like, oh, we can only afford $500 a month. These are grown adults, like with their little sob stories and stuff. Like, I can only like, yeah, you need to get like, I don't know, a better job than like it's no excuse for
You
that to
need to
try
move
and like,
back with your parents at that point in time. I
yeah,
mean,
like you're
500 a month? What are you doing
way
for work?
yeah, like how the heck, like Like you're not budgeting your money right. That's the definite like answer is like you're not budgeting your money right. If the two of you can only come up with $500 a month, like
Well,
$250 each,
they
like what?
spend the other 1,000 probably on drugs.
Yeah, like that's another thing. It's like I posted like, no kids, no partiers, no all these things. And still like you get the ones who still message you. It's like you are not the exception to the rule. You are the reason for the rule. Like I'm like, no kids. And this guy with like 4 kids messaged me, hey, is your room still available? Like, number one, like he looks like I'm not gonna, generalize, but he looks like he's done, his fair share of drugs in this day or has an alcohol problem, like just by like looking at a picture of him. And then like you have multiple kids, bro. Like, and like there's no way you would be like, oh yeah, I'll go see him somewhere else. Like, no, you're gonna try and like finagle a way to get your dang kids in my house. And it's like, no, you can no kids. Oh, but like no, dude. Like, but I just don't even message them back. Like, it's just like
Well, you gotta when you put those ads out there, you gotta tell them to reply with like their LinkedIn profile.
yeah.
You know,
Like
make
I
sure they're
tried that on
legitimate.
Craigslist, but they keep flagging it on Craigslist for some reason. I don't know
Oh,
why.
well, I mean that or do like word of mouth or ask
Yeah,
a
no, word of
friend.
mouth probably works. Like, I don't know. A lot of people are just like so like they're people can be cool to hang out with or whatever, but it's like, do I want to live with you if like you can't keep your word to things? It's like, no, dude, like you gotta go.
Yeah, I
Like
would
people will come in your house and try and take it over and be like, this is cool. Like, no, it's not. Like I remember I let one of my friends stay in my house for like 3 weeks and like she was like changing my thermostat, everything. It's like, man, like you can get comfortable in someone's house, but you can't take over it. Like that's the selfishness of people nowadays. Like the girl with 2 cats. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I've lived with cats before. No cat just stays in one room all day. And then you got 2 cats. So like you think 2 cats are gonna stay in a room all day. You're gonna shut the door all day with just some cats in there.
yeah,
Just
man, you can't trust cats. They will
stinking up the
escape.
place. Yeah, like they stink. And then like they're like, she's like, they don't destroy anything. Like, nah, cats sharpen their claws on things.
Yeah, like
100% cats sharpen their claws on things.
my cat is eating away my wooden coffee table right now. Like cats are not to be trusted.
Yeah, like it's like what? Like, and that's the thing. It's like I'm not even responding to the BS. And it's like I just ended up deleting the post and I'm just like responding to people who like ask for like a room on there and just trying to see like uh
Let me close my door really quick. I don't want my cat to like open up my screen door. He's done it once before. Give me 1 second.
left the podcast in the middle of it because he had to go open up
All
his
right, sorry about
screen.
that. I don't want to make sure I got a escape artist here. Cats are very they're loyal. They're fun to be around, but they it's their domain. Like they're gonna do whatever the heck they want. So no, cats will not stay in one room. They are not to be trusted. They will love you 1 second, hate you the next, and they're very careless. They'll knock
Yeah.
stuff over.
Uh,
They'll make a mess and then run away. Yeah, I wouldn't trust another
yeah, I
cat.
had cats like growing up. Like I know how cats are. And then like I dated this girl last year who had cats and like she did nothing to like, make sure those cats weren't like just like she put a glass of water on the coffee table and the cat would just jump up there and start licking it. And like she's just sitting there like I'm just like, you just gonna drink that water? Like after your cat was just and she was like, I gotta brush my cat's teeth and stuff, and like this cat's
Oh,
nose was
that's
just
too
bleeding and
extra.
stuff. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah. That only lasted like a month. So I was like, dog, like you were a little bit like I don't want kids, but like you're treating your cats like bad kids, like your cats are on the counter just like stepping in stuff and everything.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what a lot of people do. They get pets just to prepare themselves for kids. Dogs are probably the most common way to go about it, but I settled for a cat.
Crazy. I just
So
looked down at my phone. Sorry to change the subject, but this girl texted me to come pick up her drill. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting home from gym at 6:30. Now it's 8:53, and she's like, listen, if you don't want to be friends anymore, just leave your drill outside the door. I'm like, I told you to come here at 6:30. The crazy thing is she texted me on Friday, can I come over and get it? Like, yes. And now today it's like, can I get it? Like, yes.
Could
I
you
was
get
like,
what?
her drill, like she left a drill at my house, and it's like, yes, come get it then. Like,
What
I
were you
didn't
guys drilling?
a coffee table.
Oh, were you guys like, was it an IKEA one that you just put together?
Nah, dude, I bought this dang coffee table with like the lift top on Amazon, and like, yeah, that thing took forever and ever and ever. It took me months to build that thing. I didn't even use a drill because I don't know how to use a drill, but like she brought it
So,
over.
so do you buy a lot of furniture on Amazon? Is that like legit?
I would never do it again because like I mean I've bought things off Amazon, but that one like it was seriously like a 15-step booklet, like super hard to build. Like I wish I would have paid because I bought it like January 8th or something, and it took me till April or something to finish it. It's a nice table though.
Wow. Is that the only piece of furniture you bought off Amazon? Like I heard they got some nice
Mm,
futons and
nah, dude. Like,
lamps.
okay, I got a question for you. Like, have you noticed that like customer service is getting worse and worse?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like found the article to uh confirm my bias that like customer service surveys are getting worse, but that's because like people love to complain anonymously, but like I feel like just like there's so much lackadaisical in customer service. Like I was trying to get a grill from Lowe's, and they're like, all right, we could get it to you built in 8 days. I'm like, cool, like whatever, like I don't really need it right now, I just want to pay for it now, and like you're delivered to my house in 8 days, so I can't take this bad boy home, so yeah, deliver to me in 8 days. The day of, like, of course, I haven't heard from him. So I called him, and like I'm like, hey, like I was supposed to have this grill. And then I saw in the receipt that it said pick up, but like I'm just, this dude rang it in, so I'm like, all right, maybe it's just wrong on my receipt. But like the girl on the phone, like she was just like, that's because it's a pickup order. I'm like, well, I didn't ring that up. And then like that just killed her whole logic. Like, and so like she transferred me to a manager. They processed the refund over the phone, but I still went into Lowe's, to like, make sure I got the refund. Even then, there was like four customer associates, just like giving me like the little like trying to act like it's my fault at every point. And like I just kept shutting it down, kept shutting it down. Like they were like, where's the girl? I'm like, I never got it. Like what, like I just told you the story. Like, and then like, well, where is it? Like, I never got it. And then like she was like, did you get it this store? Like while holding the receipt? I'm like, yes, that's the receipt from this store. And they ain't like that one. They ain't like that one at all. But like, I mean, even when I was buying the grill, like the person they had in the section did know about grills and stuff, and that's fine. But like mid conversation, they stopped to talk about like what type of birds are flying around the warehouse of Lowe's, and I'm just like kind of turned around like, you were wasting my time right now. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and I think a lot, a lot is lack of customer services is people are tired of dealing with other people and they've just become a lot more transparent in their attitudes and all that. But
Yeah,
also, from what I understand, Lowe's is one of those high turnover places.
yeah, Lowe's sucks. I quit there in a month. I will never. I mean, never say never, but Home Depot hooked it up within 2 days. I got a grill, and then like they delivered me one actually that like the wires were cut, and like I called them, and they're like, we get another one to you in another time. I was like, nah, I got an event this weekend. Like, can we get it faster? Like, I'll even come and like get a truck or whatever, like whatever. But like, no, they dropped it off. I tried to tip the guys. They're like, nah, like Home Depot over Lowe's, man. Home Depot over Lowe's. They hooked it up.
I'll have to make a note of this when I start buying more appliances.
Yeah. What else do I got? I got like some crazy customer service stories where I'm just like, man, like, I mean, there was that time in Denver where like we left the restaurant because they were making us wait for it. So we are like, all right, we're going to go to the mall real quick. We missed the reservation, so I call it. I'm like, hey, can we get a reservation? I'm like, we don't do reservation. I'm like, I was just in there. Like I didn't say it like that in that tone. But I was like, I was just in there. We made a reservation. I was like, oh, let me put you on hold. Like, and then someone else. That's always a funny one when like you tell them like, well, this happened before. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, man, just help a brother out, yo. Help a brother out.
Yeah, and you know, in my line of work, your customer service skills have to be top notch. But even then, I just I get tired of dealing with people after a while, and I just become very transparent, and I start to give a little brushback because it gets to you. So I
Yeah.
sympathize a little bit more with those individuals just because they, probably spend 7-8 hours a day dealing with a few bad customers, and if you interact with 30 customers and three of them are just like real nasty and annoying, you're gonna have a bad day. I
Yeah.
mean, that's gonna overpower, 27 super nice customers. So,
I don't know. I
you
worked
know,
at McDonald's for 2 years, so I know the deal of bad customer service. And like that's why like I always talk to them normally. I tell them like when I do have an issue, I tell them what the issue is. But then it's like when you get like that crazy pushback of just like, well, why are you getting so mad at me? Like I didn't ring it up. So like it's definitely a mistake that was made in here. Like why would I make up that like I wanted this delivered to my house and 8 days later just call and like, oh, it's not, I haven't heard anything yet, like what's going on? That was the thing, like when I was getting, so I bought my furniture from like some furniture store, and they're like, all right, it'll be here on this day, and their timeline was off, logistics issues, all that. But during that time, like dealing with them was so bad because like they would be like, oh, I called you, I left you a message. Like, no, you didn't. Like, you did not leave. Like, I didn't get a call and I didn't get a message. Like, what number did you call? Ugh.
yeah, sometimes they'll do that to try to cover their tracks, and doesn't always work. Honesty is the best medicine
Yeah,
in
it's
any
like,
sort of
all
line of
right,
work.
if you tell me like, hey, like we're logistically backed up and we don't know when it's coming, but like we'll let you know. Like, cool, that's much better than nah. One time too, like the bed they it came and then like the bed wasn't like complete or whatever, and like the delivery guy was like, all right, we'll be back tomorrow to fix it. Like they ain't come back the next day. I had to call it. Like, I don't want to call, but like, if I'm paying for a service, then like, yeah, I would like to get my end of the bargain.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've dealt with insurance companies where I've tried to get my money back from a totaled vehicle, and they took forever and a day, and I'd leave people voicemail messages, and they'd say like, all calls be returned before the end of the next business day. 2 days later, still haven't heard anything, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, my money, I have no modes of transportation. Like, I'm kind of screwed out here. And then
Yeah.
you had us have to, just be very not try to. I try to never show emotion. I just keep straight, like, look, I need to speak to a manager. Like, it's not you. It's just it's me. I need something done, and
Yeah.
going
Understand.
through you is not getting the job done. So I think our generation is a little bit more understanding of that sort of thing, but we're also going to realize not to throw a fit because we're not mad at the person. We're mad at, you
Yeah.
know, the the company and their way of doing things. It's just not acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, it's April 26th and I still don't have a new debit card. I've called like my bank 4 times. I ended up having to escalate it to a manager. I was like seriously like pleading with them on the phone, like, please just send me to a manager because every time they keep trying to like the lady on the phone, this is like the second time I called, like I was like, where's my debit card at? She started reading policy to me, just reading policy, like filibustering me. I'm like, what are you doing right now? Like, please send it to them. She's like, go on the website, do it. So like I've done that the entire month of March, tried it again in April, and like the third time, I'm like, or maybe this was the fourth time, I don't really know, but I'm like, she's like, what was your old address? I told her my old address. She's like, well, what was your address before that? Like, I'm like, I'm not going back, years of addresses. Like, where did you send it to? And can you send it to my new house? She's like, you gotta go online and do that. And like, it's on my side, it's already shown, but like, I think they were sending it to like a place I lived in high school, honestly. Like, it was like 10 years ago, And so I got escalated, and from there, like apparently it's on its way, but I'm gonna call again here soon because, like, yeah, they're like
Have you
7 to 10.
ever submitted a change of address form with the post office?
Everything's been done, man. Like they just like they're seriously trying to send it to like a address I haven't lived at since like 2009, and it's like, what the
Oh
heck are
wow.
you talking about? Like, and like I'm telling them like it's showing on my side, so it's definitely something like that's in there, and I'm trying to be polite, but it's like at the same time like you're like no, we won't tell you what address it went to. Like that's counterproductive. Like can you put in the right address? And like yeah, it's like
Oh yeah, dude. Like a lot of those banks have really dumb policies. I couldn't find one of my account numbers for one of my savings accounts, and I needed it to get pre-approved for a mortgage. And I called in, verified like my social security number, my address, name, and I was like, "Can I get my account number?" And they're like, "We actually can't give that over the phone." I'm like, You literally have all of my information in front of you. I've told you my information. You know it's me. Like this is not someone else impersonating me. Just tell me what my account number is. Had to wait a week for them to send me a statement that had my account number on it. It was super annoying. And speaking of debit cards, I actually just got mine on Saturday, and
lucky.
it took 8 days for them to send it to me. They're like, "We'll send it to you in 5 to 7 business days, but within the next 1 to 2 days, it's a $30 charge." I'm like, I can live off my credit card for a week, like, but geez, I don't know, man. Like, I've been a bit lazy when it comes to opening up a new bank. I need to switch because I still have Fifth Third, and there's not a Fifth Third beyond Illinois. So my closest branch is 700 some miles away.
Wow. What a crazy turn of events here. I'm just like, I told you to come over at 6:30. Oh, I told you to text me. No, I'm not texting you. Don't tell me what to do. I do not move at anybody else's beat of their drum.
This is a nice drill. Is
No,
it one of
it's like a
those?
Black and Decker or something like that. Like it's like dog, like man, hold on. I'm gonna go leave that ish outside. I'm not even trying to deal with this girl. Like she said, leave it outside. Ha! Ha! She said she's gonna return my stuff. Like I don't even know what she has of mine. Like, what does she have? Like a lock of my hair? I will be
Probably
right back. Just talk
leave,
about something while I'm indisposed real quick.
leave it in the mailbox. All right. Well, while Dion is away, I guess I'll entertain you folks here. So, quick update on the housing market in the country. So I've been on the lookout for a house for about the past 4 weeks or so. I found a place that I really, really liked down in southern, or no, actually not southern, but central Colorado area. Price was listed at $368,000. And I decided, hey, I'm gonna check the place out. If I like it, 400,000 ought to be a good offer price. That's $32,000 over asking. Well, it turns out right before I got even a chance to look at this place, someone already put in a cash offer. Like, who in the right mind has $400,000 in cash? And they're like, we're gonna buy this starter townhome because why not? It's sickening and unfair.
It's a market right now. The market is going crazy. Like you can't get a house anywhere right now.
Well, I've been looking at a few places, and there was a townhome I was thinking about buying on the northern side of Denver, but everyone's been telling me no because it was built in 1960. It's not in the safest area of town. That again,
Yeah, it's gonna have no
safe
air
out here
conditioning in
is.
there.
Well, it had AC, it has appliances, it's a nice kitchen, but no garage. I'd
Ugh.
have to like get a surveillance system and one of those Ring doorbells. So
Yeah,
I
it's
got
not worth it. Like you want to like at least have a safe area to be at.
yeah, I'm
Especially if
thinking
you're
about.
buying. Like nah, fam. Like renting maybe. Like you got to be in the trenches while you're renting. Like cool, but like buying, no, not the
Well, I
trenches.
gotta wait 2 weeks because my realtor was exposed to COVID, so I can't even go to any showings. But I'm hoping I get a place locked down before the end of May, because if I don't, I'm gonna be in a tough spot, man.
Yeah, you could just come be my roommate, but That's the thing. Like rent's going up across the country, and people are like posting on this place for wanting to rent places, talking about like I need a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom, and my budget's $700. Like not even like renting a room in someone's house. They want an entire place themselves for like. And what part of the country are you from where you think like the rent is at, and in a larger city? Like these people are doing no market research or anything. Like I don't
No,
know,
any
like
any desirable big city, with the exception of a few places in the Midwest, probably it's going to be expensive to live. Like
yeah.
people need to get that through their head.
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
thing. Is like if you want to live in a big city, like you have to pay the cost. Like that's why when COVID broke out and stuff, and all the people who were making the fast money and stuff on the strip, like just they couldn't budget for 2 months. They all went home. Like this service industry switched completely out now because like a lot of people that I knew just straight were they're making cash, talking about making $500 a night being like a server, but then after a couple months, they were just like, nah, got no
yeah, they
money.
don't no budgeting, no
Yeah.
savings. Living above their means, and yeah, it came back to bite them.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like they're
This
like,
this was a wake up call for the whole world. I mean, no one saw COVID coming. I mean, you can argue that Bill Gates was, predicting this sort of thing, but no one expected this
no,
past
I knew a dude at
year.
work. Like this dude was way too smart to be at my job, basically. He predicted about 3 months early. And it was weird. Like, cause like at first we were laughing at him, but then it just got worse and worse. And finally, like I started like listening to him, started prepping, getting toilet paper, some beans. I got a garage full of beans. I thought it was gonna be wild, but no, it wasn't that bad.
How much toilet paper did you buy on your first trip?
Man, I bought like some cheap we have this store called Winco. I don't know if you have that, but like I bought some Winco toilet paper. That stuff is still going because it hurts. I'm pretty sure I got some better toilet paper. And I don't touch the Winco stuff, but just in case, India's having a big surge of COVID, but like I knew that was gonna happen like over a year ago. India is not the most socially distanced place on earth.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I think men outnumber women like 1,000,000 to 1 or something like that, and
Okay, that's not a figure. Like no, a one
men
million
men
to
outnumber
one.
women a lot in India.
I
Like
mean,
it's something crazy like
maybe
that.
not a million. Like, no, that's genetically impossible unless they're killing like the women when they're born. You think they got the genophage and just the women out there? Yeah, I made a Mass Effect reference.
But like there's been stories in India where, a man will marry a woman and say, "You will produce me a son," and if she doesn't, he'll like douse her in kerosene. Like it's a messed up country out there.
Yeah, it's not the one I'd pick for a vacation. Just so much poverty and everything around it. Like, I don't know if you're around a lot of poverty, like people will just justify anything, and like that's
Well, a lot of those Middle
yeah, that's
Eastern
that's poverty.
countries,
Yeah.
a lot of those Middle Eastern countries, they have poverty on a level that
You think India is in the Middle East?
is it not? Is it part of them? It's
In
off the Middle East,
Southeast
isn't it?
Asia,
All right. Well, it's by the Middle East. I mean, you go west and you're in the Middle East.
Pakistan.
All right. Well, those general areas, I mean, they have poverty unlike I think any place does in America. Apparently, I have a buddy that I work with who used to work for the Department of Defense, prior to, our current job where we worked at, and he said Iraq, for example, only had plumbing like during this century. Like there's a lot of torn down buildings, like not a lot of light. Like there's extreme poverty out there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
and he would tell me stuff about this, and like I don't want to go into too much graphic detail, but some parts in the Middle East there's mortar attacks multiple times a week, and it's just astonishing to hear these sort of things. Like, why would anyone ever want to live there? I mean, it's you can't imagine how bad it is. Like you hear the
You just
stories, and you're
said
just like,
in some
sheesh.
parts of the Middle East, there's mortar attacks several times a week. Nah, dog, that's every day, man. It's in the trenches out there.
Oh, I've never been. I quite honestly never want to step foot there, and just that's what I've heard. It's probably much worse than I'm telling you, but it's scary. It's nasty.
And Afghanistan wasn't that hot, but Qatar, man, Qatar as they pronounce it, that place was like that was the first place we landed in Qatar. Capital is Doha. And like I hop off the plane, I'm like, oh no, bro, like this is awful. Like, like it can't be this hot over here. Then we got to Afghanistan. Like, okay, cool. Like it's at least it's not this hot, man. Like I was like sleeping during the day and only walking around at night. It was so hot and it was still hot.
Was it like the dry heat or was it,
No, it's
humid?
kind of it was near the sea, so like yeah, it was humid and just like the sun was very bright, so you had to like stare at the ground too.
Oh, it's awful. Why would anyone, well, I guess unless you're born there and you
It's
can't
hot.
escape. Yeah, I don't know about those hot climates. Then again, I'm thinking of moving to Arizona one day, so I kind of need to suck it up, Buttercup,
You look
and
like you're gonna
experience
move
the
to
heat.
Arizona. Like I'm moving a conservative Indiana to conservative Arizona.
Hey,
Looking good.
Arizona turned blue recently, this past election.
It ain't gonna be in the next election for sure.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's expensive out here in Colorado. Everyone and their grandma's talking about moving to Texas because
Yeah,
Texas has all that land. You can get a big house out there. Austin was an up and coming hotspot, but I guess that's changed now since a lot of people are moving to Austin. Um, California is always going to be the most expensive state to live in. Maybe Hawaii's up there, but I mean, what are my options? I'm staying here in Colorado for at minimum another 5 years, and then I'm going to have to
dang.
reassess my life and decide where. I love it out here, but it is very expensive, and a lot of people are migrating from like California, selling their $1 million homes out there, and buying smaller homes for
Yeah,
cash.
California's moving all over the place. So is Oregon for some reason. Like I met a lot of people from Oregon this weekend. So I don't know what's that's going on in Oregon, but there's some cool people out in Oregon. You know, some pickled eggs eating people, but like they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll have to look into Oregon. It's a pretty liberal state. I
It's the
guess.
most liberal state probably.
Yeah, and
They
I guess
legalized all drugs.
they decriminalized all of them, which I personally thought was kind of a crazy idea at first, but I haven't really read on how that's going for Oregon. I mean,
You
you
want to
know,
see some methed out people? Like okay, like I'm sure there's some street. I mean, there's Seattle that like they have that whole zone of just yeah no. That's Washington though. My bad.
yeah,
Anyway,
or
you're
and
saying
even
something.
and even Washington State, that's another kind of expensive place to live because you have companies like Amazon, Microsoft, all headquarters out there and that sort of thing. So, um, but now, like, Oregon definitely seems like an interesting place I would like to visit. Um, but what, other than Portland, I know nothing of Oregon.
We should plan a trip out there. We go out there, hike, walk around the forest together, maybe skip a little bit. There's bears out there, so like we could go over there, get some jam from some bears. I know they be stealing jam.
Jam,
Uh huh.
bears stealing jam from
Yeah,
where?
jam like from picnic baskets and stuff. They just be in the picnic, just in there, stealing the jam.
They probably steal honey too. You think they knock down any hives and just like steal the honey and run
You
away?
think they're bougie? They're like, this isn't local honey. Like the people there, people are so bougie now. Like they be complaining about stuff, then say the bougiest stuff. Like the potheads be talking about terpenes and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but like they're like, blah 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 blah. I only smoke the best with the best terpenes. Like,
That
cool,
that brings
man.
up a good question I've been kind of wanting to ask. I've been doing research into like natural supplements, I guess if you want to call them. So I recently purchased some biotin and ashwagandha. Um, just because these supplements, I guess you want to call them, they're not manufactured, so it's not like creatine's a natural substance. They're not on anabolic. I don't know if that's even the proper term for it, and I bought some of these items because I'm curious of what some of the benefits are, with like mental clarity, stress relief, that sort of thing. So do you utilize any sort of supplements, and if so, what are they?
Let's see, some creatine. I use intra workout. That's really good. Like that's been helping me a lot. Like I don't know what it does for me, but It makes the workout go a lot better when I drink that even if it's like a placebo effect. I like intra workout a lot. Like I started drinking and I'm like, all right, I got some more energy and stuff. We did chest and then we did 30 minutes on the stair stepper today. I'm reasonably tired, but I got through it. I got through it. Fish oil. Uh and then I take apple cider vinegar too and gummies.
What benefits does apple cider vinegar have?
I think it's for like just body fat like loss and stuff like that. Apparently. It's like a vinegar treatment. Like people say like that helps them lose. I don't know. I think the thing that helps them actually lose is like drinking water and stuff. But yeah, being conscientious of your health.
Yeah, I picked up biotin because it's supposed to increase like your hair and nail health, and
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Cause your mustache is looking a little bit thick there.
yeah, man, I'm trying to curl it.
You're
I'm
gonna
getting
look like you
there.
go to a brewery and get you some craft
Some
beers.
IPAs.
Ugh.
What?
You'll be ready for the Denver summer with that mustache.
Oh man, there's plenty of breweries out here.
Yeah,
We got the
get you
Blue Moon Brewery downtown. Breckenridge Brewery's a nice place. We got there's a lot of nice spots.
get yourself a Rick and Morty shirt and you'll fit right in.
Well, I already drive a Subaru. I just have to, develop a passion for tech and talk about tech and about how drinking whiskey is cool.
Yeah, you gotta talk about how you drink whiskey out of the glass for no reason, just unsolicited, and you'll fit right in.
Yeah, man, I'm slowly turning more and more Coloradoan. Um, it's kind of funny, those kind of stereotypes. Everyone wears Patagonia,
Yeah,
North Face, REI.
REI
Yeah,
is expensive for no reason. Like I went in there just like, what is this place, bro? Like this place sucks.
and you have to buy a membership to shop there. Like,
Now I
I
bought
mean,
some underwear in there, which are still in my trunk. I was just in there to be in there, but like, they recommended me the membership. I'm like, eh. I mean, it's for life, which is kind of cool, but still, it's like, oh, why do I want tearaway hiking pants? I don't think I do.
yeah, that's a bit weird. That whole market is so overpriced,
Yeah.
and especially out here, uh, even like the skiing and snowboarding passes, like the Icon or the Epic Pass, those things are like $800. And I guess back in the day before transplants like myself moved out here, it was $40 to go skiing for the day, and that's a steal. If I go, I have to, wake up super early, beat the traffic, get a parking spot, pay for my lift ticket, get all my rental gear, and I've easily spent, close to $200 for one day. So
Yeah, like hiking took off out here, so it's hard to get into any of the actual good spots. So I usually go to like little outskirt trails and stuff, but I need to get up to like the mountains up in the north where it's a little bit cooler as it gets hotter outside. I did this hot springs hike that was super hard a couple weeks ago, and like people were just out there doing the wildest stuff, bringing like rubber ducks and dogs, and it's like, yeah, people die on this hike. Like you're not taking this seriously, but anything for the picture, anything for the gram, man.
yeah, there was a UFC fighter who he died out in the Las Vegas desert going for a hike, and I think they recovered his body, but I mean, still though, like th- just hiking out in the desert doesn't seem like a smart idea for
Yeah,
multiple
not at
reasons.
all. Like it's open desert. The sun's beating down on you, and then like people will be walking out there with like just a water bottle, like a 16-ounce water bottle. Like dog, like how long are you planning on being out there? Because that is unsatisfactory.
Yeah, I need to go for another hike again. I've been to a couple spots. I don't know if I'm going to do a 14er anytime soon because the only reason people do 14ers is just to say they've done a 14er,
Yeah,
and it's not all that impressive. I mean, I'd rather hike for the views, not for you know, the story saying, "Oh, I did this trail, did that trail." Like it's not really interesting.
yeah. Like I've done like an 8 mile hike, and it wasn't fun. Like after a certain point, once you get tired, you're just like doing it to do it and to finish, but. Yeah, I don't think I ever need to go on a long hike. Like 1 to 2 hours, that's cool. Like I did something. I could say like, all right, I didn't just sit around and hit that PlayStation all morning. I went on a hike real quick, took the dogs out, and that's enough. I'm about to do a
Exactly.
5K here soon.
Yeah, I sometimes I don't even really go for like a full on hike. I'll just like drive to places because I want to see the views. Like went to St. Mary's Glacier a couple weeks ago, and like I tried hiking to the top of the glacier, but it was way too icy, and I wasn't prepared for it. But
Like my
still went for the views and everything. It was pretty nice.
it was icy like my wrist.
See your wrist. Oh,
And it's just the tattoos that girl wanted to see.
yeah.
This
Well,
girl was
you
really like, explain your tattoos. I'm like, no. And then like I was like, I'll explain one to you. Pick one. Explained it, and then she's like, I won't hear about the other ones. Leave me alone, ma'am. Like, ah,
well
28 years old.
it sounds like you could have made a good friend who was a scientist.
Yeah, a fake scientist from another city who thinks it's okay to harass people in Vegas bars.
Life must not be that exciting out in Rhode Island. Um, but I had a I gotta say about my weekend, man.
Okay,
I had
yeah,
a
get
pretty
into it.
decent I had a pretty decent weekend. It only got exciting on Friday because the Rockies were playing the Phillies, and one of my buddies was going, and he's like, "Hey, is anyone else going to the game tonight?" And I looked at tickets, and I noticed that tickets like 10 rows behind the home dugout were only like $35 a pop, and I was like, "Man, professional sports this cheap? Sign me up."
Heck yeah.
The Rockies are kind of trash this year, but it's still fun to go to the games. See some of the players you follow. Um, the whole outfield upper deck area, tickets are like $10, and everyone goes there and just like hangs out. It's a total party up there. Then I as I got, I went out and I pre-gamed with my cousin. I drank during the game, and then I drank afterwards. Um, and I gotta say, my liver is nothing like it was back when I was 22, 21. Because the next morning I had to work. I go to sleep at like 2 a.m., wake up at 7, get up, and immediately I go throw up. I go back and lay down for a little bit, get back up, log into my computer, get on our Microsoft Teams meeting, get with the whole hoorah, let's have a killer day today. And I went back to bed, and I only had to work from 8 to 1. I worked from basically 8 to 8:15, and then slept the rest of the day, threw up intermittently throughout the day.
Dang.
As I got done throwing up, my cat throws up in my room, and I didn't want to clean it up because I felt terrible, and then everyone was just throwing up in my house. So that's how exciting my life is. Just I can't handle my alcohol like I used to.
Yeah, that's throw up, man. Like I haven't thrown up in years. Like that just sounds like you need to drink more, I think.
Well, I'm not someone who just pounds down drink after drink after drink. I think that's,
Peyton, take a
kind of
shot.
sad. Yeah, those days are well behind me. I mean,
uh,
that I used to drink with an alcoholic diabetic throughout college, so
wait, he was diabetic?
now he is.
Probably got that.
Last time I
Probably got
spoke to
type
him,
2.
he said he had diabetes.
Yeah, it's definitely
So,
type 2.
well, anyways, drinking in college, I kind of had the liver for it, but nowadays I'm a very sophisticated drinker. I just need one drink, just get me like an old fashioned or a Long Island. I'll just sip on a couple of those and I'll be fine.
A Long Island is not a that's a strong drink. That's your first mistake. Like I don't drink AMFs anymore. Like, Long Island is as strong as AMF. Like you drink a couple of those, that's your
That's
problem.
all I need. See,
That's
because
your problem.
no, the thing is, like, I don't drink a lot in volume. I drink less but stronger drinks. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, you don't need stronger drinks, man. Like just pregame a couple beers and then go at it. Like you don't need strong. Like at our age, strong like a strong drink is disgusting to me. I'm like, bro, like why are you making me this
All
strong
right.
drink? Like
So I don't do shots anymore. Okay. Shots are disgusting. But I like a nice cocktail. if I'm going out somewhere, or if I'm just chilling with people, I'll have a beer and maybe two, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
I can't be this guy who's like, all right, well, let's have a beer, and then who wants to start taking shots and a couple round of shots, then we go out and then we keep drinking. I
Yeah.
can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I still remember that time we went to IU for Halloween, and like they stood around that like bar or whatever, and like they took like 8 shots in a row. I was like, dude,
Yeah, I
are you
remember
guys
that.
serious right now? Like after like 5 or 6, I'm like, dog, I'm gonna go sit over here. And they're like, are you okay? Like, I don't take 8 shots in a row before leaving the house. Like that's like what? They were going hard out there. I
Yeah, I
miss
mean, and my friends who went to IU nowadays, they hardly ever drink now. Like I feel like they've given it up, honestly. If I hit them up, hey, I want to go out and have a drink, they'd be like, nah, we're gonna stay in for the night.
Yeah,
Like,
man, college that beat it out of them. Definitely beat it out of them. 4 years that I can't imagine.
yeah. So I mean, when I go out now, it's just I'll have a couple drinks and then that's it. I can't. When I went out Friday, I had a beer and a shot as the pregame. At the game, I had about two more beers, and then afterwards we went to this bar, met up with a couple people, and I had about 3 beers there.
Yeah,
That's too much.
yeah,
I cannot do that anymore.
yeah. Uber's like not really out here right now. So like I drive myself, and it's good for you too, because like if you socialize with other people and stuff, you're staying relatively sober, so you're not like acting crazy or anything like that. So I definitely like to I like to stay as sober as possible, like just, a beer while I'm out or two to like kind of loosen myself up and have something in my hand, which I really don't want to do that either. But it's at least something. But yeah, like you're not gonna see me get like belligerently wasted like anymore. 'Cause it's like, why would I want to like have that next day of just pain?
Exactly. I mean, I feel like those days I want to put them to rest, but then there's other
Yeah,
times you're like, man, if you accomplish something that you've set out years and years trying to do, and you feel like invincible on top of the world, like, man, I'm gonna party my butt off tonight, and then
yeah. You got
you
Rockies tickets, and you're like, yes, sir.
exactly. So,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
yeah,
our minor league baseball team goes on sale May 3rd at 12 p.m. and I'm definitely buying tickets. And one of my friends who I was just the one who was with me in with the crazy girls the other night, he lives like right down the street from the stadium over there. So it's like we could walk there. So it's like that's gonna be fun and dangerous, like going to one, walking to it. Like that should be cool.
oh, absolutely. Sports that are a ton of fun. Um, I've been trying to go to a Nuggets game, but it's just the whole thing with basketball. Like, yeah, I want to. I It's hard for me to support the Denver Nuggets because I know no matter how good they are, they ain't gonna make it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, old boy got injured, so I mean, they got Aaron Gordon, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, they are a second round exit probably. So there's that.
Exactly,
I
and
mean, didn't they
then
make it to the conference finals last year?
yeah, and then they met up with LeBron, and I don't care if you take LeBron 7 games, you're not gonna beat LeBron on the way to the finals. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, how did the Timberwolves do last year?
pretty terrible. Hey, Anthony Edwards is looking promising.
Wait, why you got a Timberwolves jersey? Like, delete this.
I have a Bulls jersey and a Timberwolves jersey. I
Who
mean,
you have?
those are the
Kevin Love?
teams. No, I have a Carl Anthony Towns jersey.
Ugh. I've
Unless he
never
leaves the
seen
team.
someone wear a Carl Anthony Towns jersey.
Well,
Like,
I
I've never
I am the
heard someone say
first.
Carl Anthony Towns is my favorite player. That boy's soft.
Dude, he puts up numbers. He's an
That boy got
all-star.
put in a headlock by Ben Simmons. He tapped out too. Why he tap out though?
I don't know. That team is not very good,
Yeah, they
but
got
Chicago's not a
D
good team
Russell.
either.
Yeah, they beat the Heat today though. Like the Heat aren't gonna make it past the play in probably.
Well, no, it's the Brooklyn Nets all the way. I mean, they have too much of a stacked team.
Nah, the Brooklyn Nets, I don't think they're gonna. I think the Brooklyn Nets are gonna choke, especially if they lose like a close game. Like those personalities on that team are just something different. It's like the Celtics last year. Like Marcus Smart was like kicking stuff around and stuff, and that was the beginning of the end.
mean, we'll see. I'd be interested in going to a Nuggets playoff game. You know, I don't think tickets will be that expensive
They're
just
being
because.
expensive. What do you mean?
Well, I don't
You
know.
got money
People,
like that?
I'll have to see who they're playing. I mean, if they are playing the Lakers, it'd be worth dropping money on. If they're playing like the Utah Jazz, not really that interested.
That's a good rivalry, especially after last year.
Yeah, but I mean, they played Utah's only a state over. They play them several times throughout the year. I'd rather see the King and AD come through. You know, and even with that, with football season coming back, like the Broncos tickets are so expensive, and the team has been terrible for like the past 3 years.
Yeah, the Broncos. I mean, they won the Super Bowl back in like what 2013, but yeah,
Haven't done anything since. And I tried to when the Broncos were going to be a terrible team, the Bears were in town. It was like $230 for like nosebleed seats. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
yeah,
Like that's
that's
awful.
still cheaper than the Vegas Golden Knights. Like, there's no reason hockey should be this expensive, but yeah, this city really loves their hockey now. So like, yeah, tickets up in the stands of T-Mobile Arena are like, yeah, 300 plus.
That's crazy. I don't think Avalanche tickets are that expensive.
Yeah, like hockey is like people love it out here. Even like the WNBA team, which nobody they went to the WNBA finals last year. I remember looking at tickets once. I'm like, yeah, that's way too expensive for a WNBA game. Like it's not gonna sell out either.
Well, actually, the Las Vegas Aces, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
They actually have this chick who goes by I think it's Jackie Young representing Princeton, Indiana. She was a total baller. She went to Notre Dame and was like first overall pick in the draft. Like, so you got to rep Indy, man.
I don't like Princeton. A dude stole a towel from me from Princeton. He said he'd bring that towel back. He never brought that towel back. He's in and out of jail now. I always see him like disappear off Facebook, then come back out of jail with new haircut.
Wow, must have did a number on him.
Yeah, USI did a number on him, man. Like that man ain't never been the same. Dropped out of college, just goes to jail all the time. Like, dang, man. Like, why are you in jail so much? Can't
Yeah,
be
man.
me.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Indiana, so do you have HBO Max?
Yeah.
All right. So the Mortal Kombat movie came out on Friday night, and I watched it. I watched it last night after. No, sorry, I watched it Saturday night after the fights. Because I haven't wanted to see it for a while, just because I was like, man, I have
You
such
didn't want
low
to see it for a
expectations.
day.
Probably, but um, there's a part in the movie where the main. I don't want to spoil it.
But they
But the
tell
main.
him to go to Gary, Indiana to get Sonya. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Someone
says go,
spoiled
go
it.
to Gary, Indiana. But at the same time, I'm thinking, where would I rather be, in Gary, Indiana, or against Sub Zero? I like my chances against Sub Zero than going into Gary, Indiana late at
Yeah,
night.
man. Like, that's like the city everybody always asks, like, me where I'm from. Like, are you from Gary? Like, no. Like, why the hell would I be from Gary?
It's just if you look online, like there's a lot of places to talk about how awful Gary, Indiana is, and
Yeah. They're like, don't stop in that town.
yeah, and I even had a neighbor who he said the first time he was ever driving up to Chicago, he drove through Gary, Indiana. He actually stopped in the city, and he goes up to a stoplight, and he's stopped because it's a red light, and he notices a cop pulls up behind him, lights on. Cop goes up to his window, shines a flashlight, and cop looks at him, just goes, "You're not from here, are you?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Where are you heading?" Like, toward Chicago. Try to get on the highway. And the cop goes, "All right, follow me." So this cop gets back in his car, goes around, blows through the red light. Cop is flying down the roads, going through every single red light, every single stoplight. My neighbor's following him, following, what the cop told him to do. And he gets him onto the highway. So if a cop is basically telling you don't stop at a red light or a stop sign late at night, that tells you everything you need to know about a
Yeah.
place like Gary.
Yeah, it's like
So
poverty just causes people to do things, and it's like I try to not be around it. That's why I'm like, I would like to make extra income for renting a room in my house, but I'm not gonna deal with any BS. Like a couple is a no anyway. Cause it's like, dog, like why? I wish some people would try and fight in my house or something like that. Like just be weird. Like dog, like I'm not that down bad at all.
Absolutely. You got to have someone you can seldom trust as well. You don't want some stranger coming in and like stealing your stuff and
Yeah,
then dipping.
yeah. It's like you want to see like what their friends are like and stuff like that too. 'Cause, like that's the thing. Is like especially if like they're trying to bring people over all the time. It's like, bro, like can't be bringing sketch bowls over here and bums.
Yeah, you got to set ground rules, make sure they're clean, then make sure they don't leave your kitchen a mess or leave the gas on your grill running or leaving the cap off any of your condiments in the fridge.
Yeah,
Oh
like
man, that's a huge pet
your
peeve of
one
mine.
roommate who never came out of his room. He was just in his room eating mustard packets. I'd rather have a dude like that who just like you'll never see because he's just in there gaming all day.
Yeah. Um that those they're good roommates, they stick to themselves. They don't want there's no drama with them, and I think that's what's most desirable about a roommate
Yeah.
like that. Like, they're just in there doing their thing.
Yeah, he didn't even yell or anything. He wasn't even like a screaming gamer.
Well, he would randomly just, scream throughout the day,
I
but it
don't
was just kind
understand
of
like
funny.
how you can be gaming that hard. Like dog, like you won't get bored. Like damn, you in there in a 6 hour session. My brother's roommate in Hawaii, like that dude didn't even know I was in the house like for the entire like, I think I was there for like 3 days. And like that dude didn't know I was there. Like he'd walk from the bathroom back to his place with his green screen going and he'd be yelling and stuff. And it's like, dude, like
Was he streaming on Twitch 24/7?
he was like playing Rocket League and like League of Legends. I don't know if he was streaming on Twitch, but like he had a bedroom in the house, but I guess like the house was connected to another house and he was so loud that like they complained about him. Like, you're a grown adult and you can't even like be quiet through walls. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's unreal. That Twitch streaming life is, it's addicting for a lot of people because they got to take time to stream, interact with their
Yeah.
fans. It's a full-time gig, and I
Yeah.
think if you get really really good at it, you'll probably make about 30,000 a year.
No, I actually
um
met one this weekend. She said she had 500K followers and she was willing to get on the podcast with us. I'm like, that'd be big if we got her on here to push that to her Twitch simps. You're not
oh,
even allowed to
I
say the
would
word
ask,
simp.
yeah, I would ask her so many questions, like what's the weirdest request you've ever got
She
in
said
any of
she
your
gets like
chats or messages?
100K or whatever from doing it. I'm like, dang.
Well,
That's the funny thing is like I followed her on Instagram and it's like I've seen that with people from TikTok where they're like, I got 100,000 followers on TikTok and then Instagram they got like 600 followers. Like you can't your brand's not good if you can't cross like how the heck do you have 100,000 over here and only like 600 over here? Like that's how the heck does that work? Like you can't.
Yeah, there was some, how Snapchat has those advertisements that pop up.
Yeah,
So there was this chick who like lives in Miami and like works out all the time, and she was like, "Oh, you work out with me, you're gonna get a booty." I go over to her YouTube channel because she has like, 1 million followers on Instagram, whatever. This girl has like less than 200 subscribers on YouTube. Like,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
literally just on, people that are
yeah,
paying attention to your butt.
yeah.
That's it.
You gotta like look at people's like to followers ratio. Because I remember one time, you remember that? I don't know if you're on Instagram, but there's this page came out this summer called "Influencers in the Wild," and it's just like videos of like people doing influencer stuff. Like at one point, like they blasted this girl for going to a Black Lives Matter protest and then leaving after taking a picture. But uh, you know, whenever they post something, there's always like the influencers or comments just like they look like they're just having fun or whatever. So I think I commented on one of like the person saying that, and I was just like, "Yep." Took one look at your profile, can tell like, you know, why you said that, And then like she got mad, started messing me off a burner account, like messing me like really racist stuff. Like, and I'm just like still laughing at her because like that made me investigate further. And like she had like 60,000 followers and was only getting like 800 to 1,200 likes. And I'm like, all right, I know people who get that amount of likes and they have like 5,000 followers. So it's like you have 60,000. Yeah, you bought like 50,000 of those followers. And like she's like talking to herself and stuff. And it's just like, is this I think I checked back a couple months later. She's talking about like going to therapy, and it's like, yeah, like you really bought followers on Instagram, and it's apparent, and it's sad. Like I don't know, like having 100,000 on TikTok. I remember there's a story where like this girl, like she had like 2 million Instagram followers, and she tried to release like a merchandise line, and like no one bought it. Like she got no sales. Like you
Wow.
got, even if you have a big following, that doesn't mean anything if like they're not gonna ride for you, you know. So like Twitch is cool because it's like live or whatever. So like like you have at least, because like the thing to do, like if we keep growing this, we're gonna, and you're at this actually show up, because we're gonna schedule times to do this podcast live, and you get like super chats and stuff on YouTube. So yeah, like she showed me her schedule and stuff, and like she's on it those times, and then that's how she makes like 100K a year doing it. So like the scheduling is important. So maybe like if like some of these people would like set their schedule to release new posts and stuff like that, which that's a funny thing on Instagram. Is like people like post a picture, and then the Instagram story they'll put like new posts there, and it's like, dog, we synced it. We definitely synced it. Like we're not gonna go like it because you posted new posts, but they do that. Like even like the big accounts do that. It's funny like how the big accounts do something, and then like all these like people who are like still trying to make it on Instagram are like doing the same things. Like you're not gonna make it on it, and the bubbles already burst for Instagram.
Yeah, man, it's all about finding that next social media platform to blow up on. I guess TikTok's the biggest one now because I mean
Triller,
anyone could go viral for any reason.
yeah, like
And
people definitely do like, and then like they'll have one video that blows up, and then the rest of their stuff, like it shows you how many views and stuff. So you'll see like the one video that you see that blew up, and then the rest of them are just like get no views. And I think TikTok honestly gives you like artificial followers, because like you get one blown up video, and then like they're like, I know people are like, I got 14,000 TikTok followers. I'm like, well, you look at their page and they have like 6 comments on the video. And it's like, okay, like that doesn't
yeah,
make
it's a
sense.
bunch of Chinese bots
Yeah, it doesn't
that
make
are
sense at
following
all.
them. Like they do that to like mess with the algorithms and all that sort of
Yeah, and
thing.
like make you post more, make you spend more time on the app, like because now you think like you have 79,000 followers. Like, all right, you've been doing Instagram for how many years, and like now what? Like, okay,
Yeah, it's all about catching that next wave. Because every
podcasts are
new
blowing up on YouTube
platform,
right now, man. Like
well,
it's the thing.
every platform has like a celebrity that blows up on it. I mean, like several people blew up off of Vine and have gone
Yeah,
on and
brother nature.
yeah, and they
They ain't forgot.
yeah, and like they'll start at one place and then try to transfer over, and they don't have that momentum. Well, I think it's all
Yeah.
about trying to find that next platform. What is next.
Yeah, so like my other podcast I was doing for a couple weeks, we put it on Buzzsprout, and then like it can go to other services. And I think I'm gonna have to like pay for Buzzsprout Premium, and then like they'll put it on Spotify and all that stuff. And then like, cause like I got an email, it's like that podcast been downloaded 10 times. I'm like, oh, cool, okay, whatever. Like I don't even know who downloaded it, because like I didn't really advertise it anywhere. So it's like, all right. So if I put this on Buzzsprout, maybe do a little bit of promoting. Definitely got to like, I learned the YouTube algorithm. Like, if you don't put a dang thumbnail in your stuff, it's not gonna get shown. So I gotta thumbnail these videos. Gotta put in the work, man. That's what I learned from getting the free game from that Twitch streamers. Like, you gotta put in the work. You gotta, you know, spend a little money to make a little money.
Absolutely.
And like,
Um,
that'd be cool as heck. If like I'm gonna try and mess her like this week. I'm like, hey, like, if you could, you know, come on here with 500K Twitch followers, like that'd be big. If I could even get like a foothold, like out of that, like 500,000. So if I got 500 people off jump, I would definitely like, let's set up a live show, bro. Like let's set it up, get a live show going, man. Because like people are just like dropping super chats in there. You know what super chat is?
kind of.
Yeah, like I watched like some of these live streams, like Kevin Samuels, of course, some of these other angrier dudes, but like they're just getting like super chats for like $2, like And they're like they have like their biggest super chat. Some people drop like thousands of dollars in there. Like, damn, man, like I need that. I need that long money just for talking into this microphone I got off Amazon.com.
Yeah, and there's also some people that you can pay and like have them say stuff out loud, but we'll have to censor that heavily. We don't want them saying anything homophobic, racist, discriminatory.
Yeah.
Do you remember hearing about this YouTuber? It was a couple years ago. His name was Arab Andy, and he would do live stream
Yeah,
like
I think
his
you told me
life.
about him. Like, yeah, and like he was one of those dudes who like Ice Poseidon's another one.
Yeah, well, what happened with Arab Andy is he went to some college, like it was probably Washington State or something like that, and someone put in he walked into a room and someone put in the chat, you know, like Allah Akbar, and like you could hear a bomb counting down, and everyone in the room thought it was real, so they all evacuated, called the police. The guy ended up getting arrested and all that sort of thing. But I mean, even with them, uh, he would go walking around to like just like out on the street, and he'd pass by someone, and then someone would post in the chat like his little loudspeaker would play, something very uh very inappropriate,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people would just look at him and just like that guy made a ton of money doing it, but
Yeah, and
oh
like
my
people would
god.
show up to it's like I've seen that too. Like that's the thing that scares me. It's just like people showing up randomly, and it's always a weirdo. Like it's never normal. Like one time, I forget who it was, but like he was some dude's big on YouTube doing a live show, and a dude like came in like the live stream or whatever and pretended to pull a gun on him. He was just like, "I'm just kidding though." Like bro, what? Like
Oh, was that in the No Jumper podcast? Because
maybe,
I know that happened on his show one time. Like some
yeah,
guy came in, like pulled a gun on him, and then like all of his assistants like beat the dude up.
yeah. That stuff is weird, man. It's like, dog, like what the heck is wrong with y'all? Like people want Kevin Samuels so bad. Like I saw on Instagram, like they're like, if you can find his address and stuff, like this man moving hotel to hotel now, like moving across the country. He's done like Joe Budden and stuff, but yeah, I bet it's hot for him in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, man. I guess being that famous, you having to deal with those people, it ain't pretty.
Yeah,
It's
just
actually terrifying.
yeah, anger.
I actually had this thought last night trying to sleep. Like I'm actually like terrified of people. Like you don't know what any one person is capable of. Like
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like you don't like you can be cool to someone, but if they see some way to get up on you or something like that, like they, especially like in this a world where people can justify anything and everything that they do, and like send it to an echo chamber, and like they're like I've seen like women attack men, and then like someone's like, well, what did you do to him? Like that's not the first question you ask. Like that's not the first question you ask at all.
yeah, and there were out here in Colorado, carjackings are one of the most common crimes. That and stealing like people's license plates or their catalytic converter, stuff like that. And my girlfriend's uncle lived in his neighborhood. He actually knew someone was stealing his uh something out of his truck out front. So he goes and sits on his porch and calls the police. And he's like, I'm not going to approach the guy. Like, I don't know if they have a gun on them or what the whole deal is. And I just thought about that for a second. I was like, man, that's so crazy. You can literally witness, someone stealing something out of your
Yeah.
own driveway, and you go out there to try to confront them. They might just have a gun on them, and then
Yeah,
you
like
know,
you just yeah, you never know. And then like it's like, is it really worth it to fight? Especially since like you got insurance and stuff. Like once I got insurance and stuff, it's like, okay, man, like if you're gonna try and steal here, like I might try and stop you with the equalizer, but if I'm not there or something, like my home security system doesn't deter you when the alarm goes off, then it's like I guess you really wanted it. You'll get caught on the cameras and stuff, and hopefully they catch you. But yeah, it's like I guess you really wanted it. And that's the
yeah,
thing. Like as we get, because like retail is on its last legs. That's a lot of people's jobs. Like online shopping is definitely gonna take over in the next 5 years, probably. Like malls are they're on their last legs. Like I remember, like I was talking to someone who said they've been working at the fashion show mall for like 17 years. And I was like, man, like you need to get a new job, like for real. Like you need to use your resume. I'm like, you've been doing this, you probably been managing or something, hopefully, for several years. So it's like, yeah, you need to definitely bump your resume up.
Yeah, I guess Walmart is now trying to compete with Amazon with their online shopping because actually you can buy a lot of designer brands off Walmart.com. Like you literally go to Walmart.com and type in
Yeah,
Gucci, Louis Vuitton, stuff's gonna come up. You can buy it
yeah,
right from there.
yeah. Like I was like looking at Walmart for like some of my patio furniture when I was trying to get it, and like they had just everything, and they're like 2 day shipping and all that. I'm like, well, Amazon's probably better though. Like, why would I go to Walmart when I can go to Amazon? Like I got Amazon Prime. They got movies on there. Got King Kong. I didn't watch King Kong. I haven't watched the movie since I don't even know. I watched that movie Bad Trip on Netflix. It was kind of funny, but yeah, I don't really watch movies or anything. So I want to watch Mortal Kombat, but I need someone to watch it with me, or else I'm gonna turn it off or play on my phone the whole time.
It's I liked it. I thought it was good. It's better than the originals that came out in the 90s.
Were you shirtless while you were watching it?
I had a tank top on, so
Oh,
close.
I'm probably gonna watch it shirtless if I do watch it, so I can stand up and do Liu Kang moves.
Yeah. And then HBO Max is coming out with a lot of good other movies.
Yeah,
The Matrix 4 is coming out. That's probably gonna be totally awful, but I can't wait.
yeah. I feel like HBO Max is actually a good service. Like Netflix keep raising their prices, and it's not really worth it to me anymore. Like
HBO
Netflix movies
Max
suck.
is worth it. They have great
Yeah.
shows on there. I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, just started watching The Sopranos, started watching Silicon Valley.
There's this
That's a pretty
show
funny show.
about Chicago on there. I forget what it's called, but it's hilarious. Dang, it's about like these dudes like they're like repo workers in Chicago. Some TV show, but it's hilarious. Check it out.
And it's on HBO Max, you say?
It's on HBO Max. Yeah, it's freaking funny. I dang, I can't remember what it's called. And that's the last
I
show I was
have the
watching.
app. I'm gonna see if I can he's sent me to watch Mortal Kombat again, and I'm kind of tempted to do so. But
I feel like
oh,
HBO
they
Max is
have the
connected to my debit card and it might be turned off right now. I don't even know.
oh, I mean they have so many good movies and
Yeah.
good shows on here. Um, they have Joker, and I'm probably gonna watch that for the sixth time.
You look like you watched Joker.
That
That's so
is,
funny because like I always go to like the Reddit threads where dudes are talking about like how to talk to women and stuff. And there's this guy who said he went to the Joker with a girl like a year ago, and then every couple of months in his Reddit post history, he just brings her up again. And it's like at first I was talking to him about it, then I was like, you know, I got to the bottom of it. I'm like, wait, you guys went to the movies together, and then like he was like, well, she arrives home at her apartment at this time, like, oh yeah, you stalking, buddy, like, and like it doesn't register to you that like you're acting like the Joker movie, and that's not a good thing. But yeah, dudes be down bad, so.
that's crazy. There's down bad or they're simping.
He's just waiting. Like I'm like, dog. Like you guys went to one movie a year ago, and like you took her to the dang Joker. Like I'm sure she was not impressed, and now you're waiting for her outside. Like, come on, man. Down bad.
That reminds me. Kind of the antidote to that sort of poison. One of my favorite series of videos on TikToks are futurelations. Um, so let me give you an example. Futurelation 1748. Her. What are we? Me. Well, you're mine, and I'm still single. Stay toxic, kings.
Yeah, I be seeing those on Instagram too. People are mad at that. Like those are the type of accounts that like get the Discord servers somehow just come attack you.
Oh, I love these. I think it's hilarious. There's a lot of stuff on TikTok. It's probably a little too incel-ish, but a lot of it's pretty funny and very justifiable. Um, and I noticed in a lot of these sort of things, people are very against marriage, like
Yeah,
traditional
people are
marriage.
against marriage. There's a gender war going on right now, like very badly, and it's perpetrated on TikTok. That's why I'm trying to like stay away from like all these apps and stuff. And I mean, usually in person it's pretty good, but while I was out on Thursday, there's this girl who just um I feel like I was talking to her friend. So it's like I already like have and into your group, so it's just natural to continue conversation on to like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And then like she was just like, oh, I've had trouble with men this week, blah blah blah. And like I shut that conversation string down. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like she was like, did you come with this guy? I'm like, what? She was like, this guy who I came to this bar with, who stormed off down the street or whatever. Did he send you in here? I'm like, did a random guy make me pay a $20 cover to come in here to come find, like, who do you think you are? Like, but and like I calmed her down for a second, and then eventually, like a few minutes down the conversation, she started up again with the same like BS, and then that's when I gave it back to her a little bit, and then I just walked away. I'm like, all right, like you really wanted that confrontation, like that's the thing. Like I talk to people who like they just really want confrontation, and it's like why are you living your life like that to where like you're trying to sun people for like you're living for confrontation. That's all of TikTok. And the girl living in her grandpa's house, moving his car around, like, man, that's nutty.
Yeah, man, that's straight wild out there. I try to avoid those people. I think
Yeah,
they
I
give off
mean,
bad
you never
energy.
know until you start talking to them, but it's like, yeah, sometimes like and, like it's not like I roll up to anybody saying anything wild. It's usually like, hey, how's it going? Something like nothing like offensive at all. And she's just like, I've had trouble with men this whole week, and it's like, okay, number one, like story of Emmett Till, you just can't start yelling like that at black dudes. Like that's not cool. And number two, like, what's that got to do with me? Like that has nothing. Like I hate that when like someone's like, I don't know you that well, blah blah blah. Like I don't know if I told you about a story about the girl who like I sent her my looks. Like she was like, I don't know you. Tell me about yourself. I told her like what I did or whatever. She's like, tell me more. I'm like, no. Like we could talk about it when we go on a date. And then like I ended up sending her my LinkedIn profile because I remember you talked about sending your LinkedIn profile, and like she just kept going. And it's like, all right, like either like we're gonna do this or we're not. Like I'm not gonna like at the end of the day, like I'm master's degree and a homeowner, and you're like, oh, you could be a murderer. Like, leave me alone. Like, just leave me alone at that point. Like, what are you talking about? Like, honestly,
Yeah, that's wild. I don't understand some people and their expectations
no,
about
it's like,
how
what do
other
you want me?
people
You
should
just
treat
want me
them.
like you have a laundry like that's the thing. Like when some certain girls you talk to, like they have a laundry list of demands. It's like that doesn't really work. Like why the heck would I'll never forget, like, I think it was like 2 summers ago. This girl was like a mom of three, was talking to me first, but then like as we talk more, like the demands started coming out. She's like, for the first date, you had to take me to a Brazilian steakhouse. Like, nope, nope. Once you make a demand of like, oh, you can't, see me unless you do this, no, not worth it. Like that means you're not taking me seriously. Like, heck no. Like you're just looking for something out of me. Like you really want to go to a Brazilian steakhouse that bad that you demanding it. Like on the like no, no.
What does a woman like that bring to a relationship other than another man's kids?
Yeah,
What
three
value is she providing?
herself. That's the
And
word. And
that's
like,
awful. That
yeah,
that, that
man.
ain't that
Like
ain't nothing.
as I read in a comment on YouTube the other day, like this generation is breeding like so many spinsters. You know what a spinster is?
I do not.
Basically like an old maid, forever alone, like gonna die and not have their body found for several days. That's how it's going in Japan already for like men though. Like it's a whole generation of men who just didn't care. And like I think Korea too. America is the other way. Like it's like angry women. Like dudes are, you know, they'll just go be hermits and just leave people the heck alone usually. But like these women just like their only social interactions is, arguing with people. It's like, man, like is that really what you want to do all day? Is just argue with people? And yes, it is. Yes, they do like to argue with people.
I mean, I don't know what guy would want to put up with that
That's the
personally.
thing. It's like, yeah, no one wants to put up with that. Like I met this one girl last summer, and like she was just spazzing the entire night, and like it was not pleasant. And then the next time I saw her, because like we got into it that night when I was finally just like, you know, like she was spazzing about my car windows at like 2 a.m. Like your car windows are dirty. Like who cares? Honestly, like you are not my mother. And like I saw her months later, and like we made up, and then later on down the night, she's just like, who can I pick a fight with? Like, all right, come back to it again. It's like, I'm just gonna keep clowning you because I already have gotten in your head before. If you're still thinking about it months later, like if I really want to, like, come on. But
That's
yeah,
that's mad weird.
yeah, like I definitely try to avoid that. Like my home right now is my peaceful place. I don't have to pick fights with people. Like as I said, like this girl was supposed to come pick up something from my house at 6:30, and it's like text me when you want me to come over. I didn't do that. Like, I told you to come over at 6:30. Like, we do not need to add extra steps. But that's the social awkwardness of a lot of people nowadays. Like I know like some of the younger people I hang out with, like they'll text me like they're at my house and then just sit in their car. Like, you've been here before, just walk up to the dang door. Like, what are you being weird for?
Yeah, like I've told some of my friends back at home, like, hey, front door's open. Like you ain't gotta call me to come in. Like,
I mean, you got that crazy dog, so I would too, but like,
oh yeah, that is true. But I mean, some if my friends are coming over to like my apartment here, I'll just like I'll my balcony's like 8 feet off the ground, so they can just hop the fence because
yeah.
usually I have it locked unless I'm like actively right there expecting them. But yeah, I don't understand the whole AM outside or AM here. Like,
Yeah, it's like if it's your first time coming over, yeah, I'll meet you outside. But it's like sometimes like they'll be like, "Hey, I'm here," and then like it'd be like 5 2 minutes, and it's like, "What the heck are you doing, man? Like, walk up to the door." Like it's like the social awkwardness of these younger kids is getting worse. The confrontationness of people is getting worse, and like it's like, all right, your echo chamber will listen to you, but everybody else, the world does not owe you understanding. And like the better you can work with people, the better you can talk with people, the better your life would be. Like, I wish I would just be going around just like, that person's wearing a shirt I don't like. I'm gonna, pick one with him. Like the weird guy at the bar a couple weeks ago, like talking about he's never met one Biden voter in his life. Like, that's the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard in my life. Like, he got 70 million votes, and you think like there was not one voter? Like, it's dumb. What?
yeah, man, and like I've met Trump supporters that are still adamant about how you know some. Oh, speaking of which, there's a documentary on HBO Max about the fucking QAnon and
Yeah,
how about that whole entire thing, how that came to be, and just there are people that just will live by that, and it's a hill they'll die on, and
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous. Like I can't even engage in conversation about it because they're they they're thinking irrationally. Like there's no convincing
yeah,
them otherwise.
yeah. So I try not to argue with people. Like, I'll try and like definitely not come with insults, anything like that. Like, if I could logically defeat the argument, cool. But otherwise, I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever, man. Like, as like if you remain calm, that scares people more than like just uh arguing with them or whatever. Like, just like, all right, like if you can't be moved off your center, they're just like, what? Like, it's not something that they get nowadays. Because that's all people do is beef. And it's like, if you can't get someone to beef with you, you're just confused.
Yeah, I let a lot of people that have opposing views from me just kind of just talk and just
Yeah,
I
yeah,
and I'll ask them questions, try to have them explain themselves, and it just I think they end up realizing they're not making a lot of sense, and then the topic of conversation quickly changes shortly after. But I've met a lot of people out here that some are racist, some are very very conservative, and I don't understand their thinking or their viewpoints. And I was asking questions here and there, and just they they don't have a real intelligent backing to any of their thoughts. I mean, when
yeah,
people quote uh their sources, for example, that's one of the first ways you know if someone's actually knows what they're talking about. I hardly ever hear that. So I'm just like, okay, well, everything you're
yeah.
saying, I'm
People don't
taking it.
use sources.
Yeah, I'm
I,
taking it with like the smallest grain of salt because you're probably talking out of your butt.
yeah, people are like, well, I'm gonna use Kevin Samuels as an example again. Like, I hate that man, blah blah blah, say all this stuff, and then like they clearly haven't watched anything that he's like, posted besides like, clips taken out of context and stuff. And it's like, all right, just go watch. Like they're like, he never talks about this, and like someone could link him to a video, and they're like, I'm not watching that, but I'm still gonna argue. It's like, all right, you're not willing to do the legwork, but you still want an opinion. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, and I remember and that goes beyond just like casual conversation about stuff. I remembered someone posted on Facebook when Kanye released Lift Yourself. It's when one of his daughters like wrote the lyrics, so it was literally him just going scoop diddy poop, poop diddy scoop. Like clearly he wasn't taking himself serious. And this person made a post was like, "Oh, Kanye's garbage and overrated. I'll argue with anyone." And I was like, "What part of you thought that was him legitimately pouring his heart and soul into his music with those lyrics? Like, you are delusional. The man already has 7 Grammys. He has nothing left to prove to literally anyone. He can do whatever he wants. Like, why are you so riled up about, this guy clearly trolling you?"
Yo, so one thing that's funny on Facebook that I still have a certain comedian from Evansville. Like, dude's got to be like, 35, still getting in the
I know who he
Facebook
is.
beef. Yeah, just like it's weird. Like he always like posts a screenshot of it. Like, dude, you're always on here talking ish, but then when someone says something back to you, you're like, I blocked him, I deleted him, but here's the screenshots. I'm gonna blast him. Like, bro, grow up, man. Like, if
You know, that guy's funny. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, he's a little too into the whole Facebook arguing sort of thing. And it's just
yeah, and
like,
it's like, bro,
man,
like you're like the most internet tough guy. Like, and then like when the fuel, hits him, like he just starts crying on Facebook again. Like it's like every week this man's on Facebook crying. Like, dang man, like please delete me and post a status about it at this point. Like, I don't care, man. I'm tired of seeing your ish.
yeah, people are a little too self-centered around that sort of thing. That's why I'm just not on social media. I don't care that much about the majority of
Yeah,
people
like
to
I
really
mean,
know all that.
I still follow people from years ago, but like nowadays I'll meet someone, follow them, and they don't follow me back. I'm unfollowing, or like they're just kind of whack, unfollow, or they're just annoying, unfollow. Like I really don't care. Like a follow is like polite and stuff, but like if we're not really gonna talk or interact with each other, and like I see what you're posting, I don't really like it. I'm just like, unfollow, whatever. Where
Yeah,
like
and
people
like
are
I'll
like posting like, oh my bad, but like there's like, I follow people, and they live a different lifestyle than me. Let's just say that. They're like posting just like overly sexual stuff. It's like, dog, I'm not trying to see that, man. Like every day I gotta look at you shake your ass. Like, yeah, all right, unfollow. Like, man.
yeah, and if I meet someone at a party, like we'll add each other on Snapchat, view each other's stories for a little bit, and then I'll just be like, well, this person's just taking up space. I don't really know them or what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like when I hate Snapchat so much. It's just the dregs of society. Like ask for Snapchat. It's like, damn, like you ain't even on Instagram. You're still communicating via Snapchat. Like, okay, like I know this is about to be some BS, and it usually is. Like man, someone sent me like they're like, yo, this girl's trying to come over. Look at her, like her Snapchat was like just a heavy filter, and it's like, get that off my phone, man. Like people still using Snapchat filters out here. Like, you don't even know what this person looks like. Like, what the heck is this? Like, no, Snapchat sucks.
Yeah. Also, I have Snapchat and TikTok and LinkedIn are my only social medias. I have a Twitter just so I can I don't post on it and no one's following me, but I just have it just so I can view like the reason I got it is because there's this Twitter account that will tweet out like if when a PlayStation or Xbox becomes available to buy it. That's the only reason why I got it. But other than that, I don't do Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
I'll reactivate it from time to time to
To post the
see,
status,
yeah, and see
rile,
how
rile,
people.
rile up your friends from high school real quick.
Yeah, see that no one's really doing anything with their lives, so I feel
I
better about
mean,
myself, and then delete it again.
life is pretty slow, especially people been working the same jobs forever and stuff. It's like there's not much going on. Like that's why people started doing like large gender reviews and stuff because like that's all you got going on to get some clout on the internet. Like you gotta do a gender review. Like nowadays when people have a baby, like they gotta do like the baby reveal, the gender reveal, the baby shower, like everything, man. They got everything. Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
damn.
that's too much. That's way too much. I don't even like. Yeah, another thing that just like kind of aggravates me is when people will videotape or take pictures of their engagement. Like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna propose to her. You get over there and take a picture. Like, you're not even doing it for the sake of being in love with the other person and for being happily married.
Yeah.
You're doing it just to get attention. So your marriage
Yeah.
is probably
Engagement
gonna
photos are
be
weird. Yeah.
awful. So
Nah, people want the clout in the wedding more than they want the actual marriage, like expensive weddings and stuff, and just it's weird when people want to show off really hard, and it's funny the ones who haven't quite made it, but they take themselves way seriously, and they're just saying things talking about like, oh, our generation's different, and I don't drink or smoke, and it's like okay, I'm looking at you. You clearly do something. Like you definitely do something, but you're
everyone
just like,
has their vice.
yeah, it's like you clear like I don't believe you is the thing. And it's like I've had matched the same girl twice on dating apps because like a weird thing is like people are always gonna be attracted to the same person. So like I've had it happen to me a lot of times where like the same person likes me multiple times, even though like you know, I never accept the like, but they keep doing it. Like multiple times. It's like you gotta have multiple accounts to keep doing this. But yeah, I've matched this girl twice, and both times she's always like, "What's your Instagram?" Looks at my Instagram because it's like I don't have a bunch of followers, you weirdo. Then she just unmatches. Like so, like your whole profile is just cap, and you're looking for like a little come up, like for social media. Like ew. Like is it that serious?
Yeah, that's super weird. Um, speaking of dating apps, I heard there was this. I saw this earlier on TikTok. There was this Tinder hack. So you open up Tinder, the first girl that shows up in your feed is always a really hot girl. The second one is a girl that matched with you. So you should try it.
I had
Um,
Tinder Premium, boy. I was spending that bread on it, but I deleted all the dating apps. I'm like, I'm about to just get out in these streets and like get it out the mud. Like I'm tired of the like that stuff's just annoying, man. Like
yeah,
it's annoying dealing with people in there who think like they have a higher estimation of self and stuff because they do get hit up by a lot of dudes on there. It's like if you do build a connection off a dating app, it's like it is so much better to meet them in person and like
it
all right,
is.
cool.
It
We're going to
absolutely
like the
is.
same venue or something like that, and we met in a place where we both semi enjoy or something like that, or maybe we don't enjoy, but at least we're in the same spot. So it's like cool. But off of dating that, like, yeah, I've met pizza drivers and stuff. Like, where would I ever have met this pizza driver with bad breath at besides Tinder?
Dang, way to be oddly specific there.
I'm being oddly specific. Yeah, I've dated two pizza girls off Tinder.
Do they hook you up with free breadsticks or?
Nah, man. Like, I mean, one was at least a server at Giordano's, but like, still, like, she talked about like every table she got every day. I'm like, yo, like, be quiet.
Man, you weren't about that pizza life.
I think I was like, I mean, I never got free pizzas off of them, no, because
Well,
I don't
that's
really
a
eat pizza
bummer.
like that.
I know, but I mean, you got an opportunity for free pizza. You don't say no.
I'm 27 years old. Like, we ain't out here eating pizza all the time. Although I did get Uber Eats pizza a couple weeks ago with some other girl, but yeah, like if I'm at home, I'm not like, yo, let me hit up Little Caesars right now.
Oh, dude, man, who beyond the age of 22 still messes with Little Caesars?
Not gonna lie, on Veterans Day, they were giving away a free pizza, and like
That's an
we went to
exception.
like so many restaurants on Veterans Day. We definitely went to Little Caesars, but like, yeah, you gotta be in the struggle to be used to Little Caesars. Like if I walk into someone's house and they got a Little Caesars box, I just know like when you see in the kitchen, there's gonna be all the cheap alcohol bottles on top of the cabinets too.
Oh yeah,
like,
of
like you
course.
in the struggle right there, boy. You in the trenches with some Little Caesars. That pizza be cold in like 2.5 seconds. You just eating cardboard.
Yeah, and honestly, with me, I have to be careful about what I eat because my digestive system can't solidify food and digest it properly like I used to. I don't know if this is just something you get with age, but
You
if
need
I
to eat
eat like a
some vegetables in your diet, man.
maybe that's what it is, but if I eat like, really nasty greasy bar food one night, the next morning I'll use the bathroom 4 times
Yeah.
and I'll just feel it, just my stomach just turning, and I was like, man, I can't keep eating like this. So
Yeah,
I've
like
switched to a
greasy food
healthier
is
diet
not, yeah,
recently,
like
but
I don't really go to fast food or anything anymore because like it's like, yeah, like what the heck? Like it does not feel great on the stomach at all. And like even like halfway through like a Taco Bell burrito, I was like, this is disgusting, bro. Like, why'd I even buy this?
yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know if it's us or if it's just the quality of food around us, because I know uh the general diet in American and what we eat in America has way too many carbohydrates. That's why we're a pretty obese nation. Like we eat
Pretty
way too
obese.
many. One of the most obese nations, probably. I
I
don't know the
think the only
exact
one is like
statistic.
America Samoa that's bigger or something like that. But like I'm sure we're quickly taking over.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't promote very healthy diets. We eat way too much carbohydrates, a lot of processed foods.
You know, a lot
So
of food, like, and then sit around all day, like do nothing. It's like people are like, this is a natural way. Intuitive eating is the place to be. And like, I just want to eat chocolate and stuff sometimes. Like, all right, like, deal with the results of that then, because as much as people want to deny it, attractive privilege is a thing. Like, I get into places free sometimes. Like, I get like free stuff sometimes. It's pretty lit. Of course, like, I get people throwing themselves at me.
must be nice, man.
It's not like got. She should never have had my number with her crazy self.
Hey, man, she got you a drink and you gave her the number. Sounds like a equal transaction in my book.
Yeah, until she had her weirdo text me. So
Yeah, that's pretty odd. Fairly odd story.
it was definitely not the way to go. But anyway, I gotta go grill a turkey burger and go to bed. It's getting late. I'm tired.
I'll be in Vegas soon.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'll have to let you know.
I really wonder, like, what she said she had to drop off my stuff besides my key. I don't know what else the heck she had. She should have had a key. So weird. But I'll check my door and see if there's anything there.
See if she got that drill. Better
She
better
got the drill.
check your cams, check your ring bell.
No, I
See if
saw
she's
like
still out
she
there.
texted me like, should I come in? Like, you were the one that said leave it outside. Like, you obviously want to argue about something. So no.
Yeah, man. Forget all that. The best way to win any argument is to shut it down before it even happens.
No, it's just like, all
That's
right,
what you
like
got to do, man. Nip it in the butt while you can.
you say nip it in the butt.
In the bud.
Yeah. Over here using wrong terminology and stuff.
You know
All
what
right.
I mean.
Give the closing thoughts for Payton from missing the damn podcast all the time.
It's a busy life out there.
You playing
I work.
Xbox.
I got a question for you, Dion. Let's say I'm gonna end it on this because I want to get your thoughts. Let's say that there's you and 5 of your coworkers. Would you rather have it so you make $145,000 a year and the rest of your coworkers make $100,000 a year? Or would you prefer it where you make $250,000 a year and all your coworkers make $300K a year? What would you rather have?
250.
Smart. Most people, and this is actually based on a Harvard study, they would pick the 140 because they want the status. They want to
Yeah.
feel that gratification that I'm doing better than you. When in reality, they need to pull their head out of their rear ends and realize, and they just need to do what they were always taught in school: keep their eyes on their own paper. You're making more money with
Yeah.
250,000. Who cares what everyone else around you is doing?
That's the thing.
Focus
Like
on
I've
you.
been like the last couple of years, I've always been like the youngest person and stuff. So I'm sure I make less than my coworkers. And it's like, okay, whatever. Like you really don't discuss salary anyway, but also it's just like I'm doing better than I was a couple years ago. There is potential for growth, potential for everything. So it's like I don't care. Like I don't care what anyone else is doing. When I'm doing my thing over here, I'm able to do things I wasn't able to do before. It's like if I was making 250 and they were making 300, I'm like, hey, yo, like what y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to go to Cabo, St. Lucas?
That's my closing thought there. Focus on your own money, your own paper. Who cares about what everyone else around you is doing? It don't matter. Just push yourself. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, man. I think that's the thing. Like focus on yourself is the way to go. Like you can look at other people and want what they have, but are you willing to put in the work to get there? And that's a big problem. Like people like, hey, I want to do this. All right, what are you doing towards it? Like I remember like we're going back to Tinder because that's like I see a lot on there, just a lot of BS. Like they'll be like 19-year-olds on there talking about future doctor. Like you're really projecting your life out 10 years in advance. Doesn't
they're
make
gonna
sense.
they're gonna have a nice piece of humble pie and end up working at a smoothie shop.
Yeah, like
Dropped out.
they're like, future doctor, I can outsmoke you. Like, yeah, you ain't making it anywhere. Like, imagine like flexing on, I can outdrink you. I can like, cool, man. Who cares? Who gives a crap like that you can do more drugs than anyone? Like, sick.
Totally Brad.
Yeah, I saw this boy on Twitter talking about they were talking about the new White Claws coming out with the stronger percentage ones or whatever.
All the 20% ones. I've heard about that.
Yeah, and like some guy was like, I drank 3-4 locos one night and didn't feel it. Like, dude, that's impossible. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, I'd never get drunk. I've tried to get myself drunk. I'm like, dude,
Those people are so, dude. Those people are such liars.
yeah, like, who cares? Like, all right, take a video of yourself doing it and post it, and you'll get some dang clout. Because like everybody wants to see someone drink a lot, and then it used to be hilarious to see someone like, all right, this guy thinks they can drink a lot, and then like they don't make it anywhere. They don't make it out the house. They's eating potato wedges at the house.
And pizza rolls.
Man, I miss pizza rolls. I wonder if I could grill pizza rolls.
I saw another thing on TikTok. You put pizza rolls in an air fryer and make like some Parmesan paste, put it on top of them, heat it up.
These kids can't cook. They just be air frying stuff. I promise you that. Like they can't cook at all. They just be in air fryer thinking they flexing. Like, dog, we all got air fryers now.
Exactly.
But anywho, let's end it at that. We all got air fryers now. Let's go. 2021. Look, like 30 years ago, people didn't have AC and stuff. They had to have the window open. Everybody has a better quality of life, but we're complaining more and more and trying to work less and less for what we want. So make sure you get out there and do what you want to do to, be where you want to be in 5 years.
And we have Uber Eats and iPhones. What more could you want out of life?
And AirPods.
What more do you want? What more does anyone want?
Other people's stuff. They want what other people's have. They don't want to work for it though.
Keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yes, sir. All righty. We are outie.